All righty. What is going on, fellas? We are really on the eve of one of the biggest draft weekends of the year, I would imagine. A lot of you guys probably drafting your home league teams. When I put the poll out of, when your drafts were, a lot of you guys responded Labor Day, but there was quite a few people that said their drafts were this weekend. So, yeah, we're going to get in some drafts ourselves. We'll hop into a best ball mania here in about 10 seconds if anybody wants to join it. Of course, they can go ahead and do so. A couple things I actually want to talk about. Actually, hold off on that, Spicy. We'll wait for some people to join the stream. One thing I want to plug really quick. Our Listener League draft is drafting tomorrow or Sunday night, on at 7 p.m. Eastern. We've actually enlisted a lot of the Flock League rejects in the league. A lot of the guys that didn't make the Flock League, Tommy, of course, you guys remember from the auditions. Lumberjack, of course, you remember from the auditions and the actual draft video. Dynasty Wizard and Stun a Goat. And then, of course, Arthur, who won the league last year. So all of those guys are going to be in our Listener League this year. So we're going to give away less spots than we normally do. But we thought this was a fun way to kind of basically still be in a league with the guys that could have been in a league with us in the Flock League. So if you guys want access to the Listener League, just hit the Google Forms link that you can see there. It's also in the description of this live stream. You can get one ballot for free entries. Of course, if you're a season pass holder or use our underdog code or something, you'll get extra bonus entries that way. But yeah, definitely check that out if you want a chance to be in that league. I think there's about 5 or 6 spots that we're giving away.
Yeah, and I just want to say hashtag justice for the finalists is basically the theme of that.
Yeah, yeah, we got a bunch of finalists from the Flock League. No one else on the Flock channels are going to be doing a league with the guys that almost made the cut. All right, Spicy, now I will get you to count down from 10 seconds here. And if you guys want to join this Best Ball Mania draft, of course, in about 8 seconds, just hit confirm when Spicy hits confirm here, and you should be into the draft with us. We're going to do a little bit of a 2-part stream here where we do 2 best ball drafts, and then we're going to get into our trade and start sit questions. Or not start set questions, super messages and team reviews on the site. I think we have about 8 team reviews right now and 9 trade questions. Most of the DD 2.0s from last stream should be sent out. I believe we're still waiting on. How many are we waiting on at the moment?
I believe 2. Let me double check just to make sure. 3. Correction. Logan, he just gave us some more context today. I believe Logan was the name. Let me see.
Yeah.
Sorry, just a moment. Let me pull it up. Yeah, Logan, he just gave us some more added context today, so we're going to be whipping him out that 2.0 back. The other 2 were Mr. Democracy, and Jay Leisinger had 2. We're finishing up the second one for him.
Okay, so yeah, if you heard your name there, you guys are going to get your DD 2.0s probably at the latest tomorrow morning, but hopefully after the stream, we can knock those out for you. And anybody who has a trade question or super message or team review in the hopper, we should get to that today.
So let me answer this real quick because obviously it's semi-troll. We both have Jefferson ranked higher. Now, the discrepancy for you is a little bit wider because you're a little bit more bearish on Kenneth Walker, which I understand the bear case there is a guy that hasn't held up to a full workload. But at the same time, on a per-touch efficiency basis, this is the best situation he's had in his career. When you take a look at the amount of too high that Kansas City is going to have against them, on top of the fact that there's a real big deficit in terms of their pass catchers, like I understand the bear element here because he hasn't held up to the workload. But I do think we both understand if he gets that full workload for Kansas City, I mean, the narrative before 2018 was that KC, Andy Reid, was the hot spot maker for running back. So I'm very curious like how this season is going to unfold. I do have Jefferson higher, but the discrepancy between Jefferson and Walker in my rankings and in Sammy's rankings, a lot less than some of the other creators. So I understand how it looks on surface value, but for us, it's 11 and 13.
Yeah, I obviously could be wrong. I think it's going to age like milk in Austin, to be honest, that trade. The only thing I have an issue with is that you guys didn't wait for more news to come out. I think given your team situation, I don't think the trade was all that bad. I just think you should have waited a little longer. And I know Mason said he would retract the trade if the news came out. I would have just taken that risk personally.
Well, that's the issue is the risk, because at that point that we did it, it did look by all accounts that it would end up being a serious season ending up in injury. And at that point, having the full waiver wire flexibility, the position that he was in, having 1,500 versus the rest of the league having 1,000, that was partially the factor where it's like for us, we only downgrade 2 spots in our consensus while ensuring that we would get potentially, if Genty was out for the season, maybe a 4th or 5th round redraft type of value that Washington could potentially represent.
Yeah, again, I get it. I would have just waited for a little bit more
Makes sense.
information
Yeah.
myself, but I
Totally
understand.
fair. And obviously in hindsight, because the injury isn't as severe, it looks a lot worse. So
For sure. All right. So we're going to be on the board here coming up
yep.
to the 111. As always, if you guys want to join drafts with us, the link to do so is in the chat. And also, I've gotten a lot of questions about, oh, I signed up on Underdog. How come I haven't received access to the draft guide yet? Once you make a play on the site, you will receive access to the draft guide. So you got to enter a $5 puppy draft, which we'll be doing after this. You want to go with Jefferson here?
Yeah, we'll take a Jefferson here. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. So you enter a $5 draft or a $3 draft, or you do a pick 'em entry on baseball or something like that, and you'll get access to the draft guide within 24 hours of that play. You'll get an email from Underdog with access to it. Do you want to go with?
I think for meme wise, it would be hilarious if we just take the trade.
That would be funny. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, I don't really take a lot of Walker, so I'm fine. I'm fine going with him.
Right at his ADP on top of that, even though Genty shows higher in our rankings, I'm assuming, did you move Genty up or? Okay, no, it's just probably
I moved him up. I buried him into the 20s at one point, but I did move him back up to 19 in my rankings is where he's sitting currently.
Yeah, and I mean, Stunna, we ended up getting both on that turn, so we definitely don't mind there. I love Genty. There's too much risk in the ankle, I would say, to push him above that range of running back. I'm even the Genty guy who had him at 9th overall. I have him ranked at 17th right now, just simply off the fact that, I mean, I had CeeDee Lamb in fantasy last year. That was a high ankle sprain, so we'll see what the designation specifically is with Genty, even if it's lower than high. It's just such a close range. Why attach yourself to risk? Like, injuries will find you. Why find them?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I think it's funny because I actually have Walker and Genty back to back in my rankings. I have Walker at 18 and Genty at 19. I don't really know what to do with either of them. The one thing I did do is that I moved both Drake London and Nico Collins ahead of both of them because I think there's too much risk. And even I would prefer I think there's a lot of risk with Saquon Barkley, but I think that he's proven an elite ceiling many times before to the point that I would feel more comfortable taking Saquon at this point in time with Genty's injury and with Walker's being Kenneth Walker, basically. So,
I mean, so outside of that specific bias, I understand it's the volatility of Walker himself.
Because it's not just the volatility. It's just the history of a career for a running back producer is their most likely scenario for their outcomes is what they've done in the past.
Which is fair, but let me ask you this. For a Kansas City offense, who even with Pacheco and with Kareem Hunt, has consistently been one of the highest success rate rushing teams in the league, when you have a guy like Patrick Mahomes, on top of the fact that they are going to see a ton of too high, I just look at Kenneth Walker and he's been injured before. That's always going to be a risk. But I just think what he's shown even to that level, the efficiency, the playmaking, the explosiveness behind that offensive line with that situation of light boxes,
he had a better O-line on a better team last year, and he was one of the worst
offensive line was
not
better in Seattle.
What?
His offensive line was not better in Seattle.
Absolutely, it was. The Chiefs' offensive line is worse than the Seahawks.
Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith. Then you got on the outside there. We'll see what happens with Simmons. They've really patched the offensive line more than you want to give them credit for.
I think that both teams have about average offensive lines. You just framed it in a way that it's a major upgrade for him, and I don't think that's true.
Shout out Mason, by the way. I mean, hey, Mason did have that bold take. Jonathan Taylor, running back 1, Kenneth Walker, running back 2.
He did say that. That was obvious cope, but the Chiefs line's 100% better. I don't know about that, fellas. Okay. T. Higgins and Igbuka and Waddle. I'd be cool with T here. He'd be my preference there.
I'd have Waddle ranked the highest, but T's right behind, so I don't mind going with T. But maybe we get both.
Yeah, this is kind of my opinion on it. I think that the Seahawks and Chiefs will be about equal as far as their offensive projections this year. I think they're both about league average offenses to me. I don't think either of them are going to be top 10 units.
I'm on the same page. I just also think the 2024 receiving upside for Walker is kind of what
you want to go Waddle, or do you want to maybe take ETN even here? I'd be fine taking ETN.
I love Waddle here. Sure. Waddle's a guy I actually have inside of my top 30 because I had him discounted a little bit when he was dealing with the leg injury, but the way that they're talking him up, obviously Davis Webb having that quote about him, the overall fit in a 600 plus pass attempt offense, which they were at already last year. I mean, I hate throwing shit around, but obviously the prime example would be my team last year with George Pickens.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it on a couple different occasions so far. By the way, the Chiefs and Seahawks were better in adjusted line yards, PFF run blocking grade, and pretty much every run blocking metric possible last year on
But in
offense.
terms of, but you also have to consider the lack of explosives on that team. If
Their
you're talking
run
about
blocking
explosive
offensive line grade has absolutely nothing to do with.
I thought you said explosive run rate. I thought you said explosive run rate.
No, I'm saying their offensive line is worse.
I mean, again, they've consistently been a high success rate rushing offense because you have Patrick Mahomes. I do think you're kind of discounting the fact that, I mean, this is the first legit running back we've seen with Mahomes literally since, I mean, who? Nobody. I mean, Damian Williams, are we even considering that the little run there?
Yeah. I'm not going to like, I think Walker has a chance to crush, obviously, because, you know,
he's
sometimes
volatile,
new situations and that kind of thing. I think that it's like a 10% chance he actually hits like the ceiling that most people think he's going to hit. And I think it's like a 90% chance he disappoints people.
Yeah. I mean, we'll agree to disagree there for sure. We have a new price tag for Parker Washington, apparently.
Holy shit.
Also,
I didn't realize Dufo was in this draft.
I mean, yeah, I loved his first 3 rounds there. Puka, Genti, Love. I mean, obviously some risk with both ankles with the running backs, but in a best ball context, that's kind of a
that team stinks, man.
I mean, Parker Washington sunk it for sure. You don't think in
Parker Washington?
You don't think in BBM taking a Genti, Love 2-3 turn to pair with Puka, is that not at least?
I mean, I think that's interesting if he would have taken Bucky Irving to go along with him.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. I don't like
over
Parker.
10 and Bucky is crazy.
I agree. I don't like Parker there either. 410 Parker Washington is wild. This is the thing too, man. Like you got like the Jet McKinnon stretch there. Obviously, Kareem Hunt got a ton of receiving usage in his.
I think he's referring to like Westbrook and shit.
Yeah, well, like like that's what I mean. Even if you go back just like other stints as well, there's just so many different stretches in Andy Reid's tenure where we have seen a lot of the passing game even get funneled to the running back position. So,
I mean, is that a real stat? Like, what was Kareem Hunt's high target total? Like, I don't think he ever monsterly dominated.
In 2017, he had a good amount of receiving usage. Here, let me see.
He had like 70 targets, I think, maybe.
I mean, he was like what, the RB3 in fantasy that year?
Yeah, in 2017, like I don't know where you're getting that stat from. His career high in targets as a member of the Chiefs is 63.
63 targets in 16 games, so about a 70 target pace, which again, like for Kenneth Walker's career, we haven't seen him be a legitimate high target.
That would be also a good point by Mason there. I don't think that's like a bull case.
They haven't had a single talented running back in that stretch.
Do we want to take the falling Jacobs, or we want to avoid that?
Fuck Jacobs. Hell no.
Let's go. You want to go Tate?
I'm cool with Tate. If you want to take
a running back at some point, but
I'm cool with Tate here. And then we could take. God, I hope Jacobs just goes, man. Thank you. I'm cool with Henderson here.
Sure.
You want to do something else?
We got to take a running back. I think we're gonna be boned if we don't.
Okay. We'll plug our nose.
With Henderson. I don't love it, but I'm fine with it.
I just flat out disagree with this. I almost said Dynasty Flock, aka Mason.
I mean, he's definitely not, but I'm kind of on the same page as Mason here, is that I think that a lot of Kenneth Walker's upside is just a lot of hopium, personally.
I think explosives and an opportunity in a very, very, let's just say, overrated receiving room. Danny, no, you guys panicked. I mean, again, I didn't like Rome's trade. If you guys want to prefer Olave and DeAndre Swift for Justin Jefferson and Jaylen Warren, that's on you guys.
If I'm going to move on, in general, you should have fleeced Rome for a decent running back.
Okay. Just because I posted the trade that Rome offered, and people were like, "Oh, I actually prefer that to you guys." Well, first of all,
I also prefer that, but you guys are for some reason just unbelievably high on Jaylen Warren, which I like. I like Jaylen Warren, but I think there's like a 45% chance Rico Dowdle's the guy that you need to roster in that backfield.
Don't get me wrong. I do believe that that's going to be a split. I just view it as this was a top 20 running back in points per game last year while splitting with Gainwell. And I would argue the Gainwell role left behind, if he even absorbs 50% of it, RB27 cost is very easy for him to at least surpass. And then again, I like DeAndre Swift, but to me, if I'm going to downgrade from Justin Jefferson, I want to be getting a guy with league-winning upside. And I like Olave, but I don't think he's got that oh my God, he was a top 3 player at his position. Like I think Walker can be in the upside case.
I think that the gap between Olave and Walker is a lot smaller than the gap between Swift and Warren for me. Just because since the Menengai injury, I think Swift is legitimately a top 45 player in fantasy.
To be fair,
this year.
It sounds like the injury is going to be literally maybe week 1 it affects him. It doesn't sound like it's going to be lingering.
For Menengai or for
Menengai?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I have him on my team. Also, yeah, Danny, you guys should do your absolute best to secure Emmett Johnson. I wonder who has Emmett Johnson on their team.
Yeah, we'll see. No one liked Rome's trade. His fake trade was like really bad. The editors did him dirty, but
yeah, the fake trade was funny. It was funny to me that Rome spouted off when we were in Austin about how he can handle getting a bad edit, and the second he gets a bad edit, he got pissed about it.
Yeah, I mean, I can relate.
That was really funny to me. He's like, dude, I was on Survivor, and I was like, you don't say? And then he's like, dude, I can handle a bad edit. Trust me, I got the villain edit on Survivor.
Well, I was messaging him. I was like checking up, making sure he was okay, because again, like I know how that's like, and even Avery said it. Like after the fucking Avery Reese debacle, when the first year of auditions happened, like. It's tough sometimes, man. You think you're fucking ready for
stop reading the comments, guys. Stop reading them.
Tough. Dude, we care about the channel.
The internet's not a real place.
No, you're not wrong. I agree with you, by the way, Mason. It was a reasonable deal, but realistically, again, like Corey might think Olave to Walker is closer. When I look at Walker, I see a guy that could actually be a difference-making 20-plus point per game player. I don't see that with Olave.
I mean, Olave is my 26th ranked player and Walker is my 18th ranked player. Like, it's not that far off, in my opinion.
Well, the difference is I have Walker ranked at 14th overall. So, like, we're pretty split there.
Danny, stop reacting so fast in the Flock League. This is why Corey will do better. Shout out to Peter. He knows ball.
I mean, I don't know. I think people are underplaying it. The only thing I will listen to is the fact that we have to fix our structure. Like our wide receiver,
boy might fall to us right here. I might have just jinxed that, but if he falls, we kind of need him. So.
Well, dude, so if Genty is healthy, let me knock on wood. Our running back core is fucking phenomenal. Jalen Warren all day.
Now, so here's where I'm okay with Jalen Warren and the 7-11. I would not take him at the 601, but I am okay with him at the 7-11.
I mean, his ADP's at 70. I have him ranked at 61. You have him ranked at 65. The domain guys have him ranked
at 65 in my rankings.
Is he not?
No.
Somebody else has him at 65 then. Nathan, maybe?
Avery
has him at 59. I know that.
I mean, when you factor in that there's a bunch of quarterbacks ranked in that area, you could get him as high as 65, but he's ranked at 70 in my rankings. Anyways,
that's what I'm saying. We took him at what, 61 overall.
Want to go
place?
I'd be fine with
maybe
Harvey or Lemon.
I'll do Lemon. I don't want to do Harvey.
Okay,
there's a specific other Broncos running back I take in basically every draft.
I hate that I'm the Harvey guy this year. It actually makes me disgusted with myself.
I appreciate that, LeBron. You're not wrong. And I'm just kind of embracing it at this point, because at the end of the day, the way I look at it is if everybody expects you to do good and you do good, like, are you really proving anybody wrong? If everybody expects you to be the single worst fucking team in the league, which everybody in the league has basically said about me and Sammy.
Yeah. If I did a tier list like Mason, I would also put you guys at dead last.
If we defy those expectations, we just have so many fucking more receipts to pull, so much more ammunition to use. I mean, I already kind of said it in a couple.
This is the problem with your draft, though, Danny, is that you guys are so focused on proving people wrong and being right than drafting a good team.
Well, but that's the thing.
You're like, you guys are sleeping on Tate. You're sleeping on Warren. You're sleeping on Loveland. It's like, just draft good players.
Corey, we're drafting at the turn when there's a 24-pick swing. So it's not like we can realistically draft players around where their ADPs are.
I do think you guys did fuck up by not picking 7th overall. I think that's where you fucked up. I think if you picked up 7th overall, you could have started your draft with CeeDee Lamb. I mean, Kenneth Walker was obviously gone to Mason, but you could have easily made a Henry for Walker swap at some point or whatever the case was. You would have gotten Waddle or some other receiver in the 3rd, and you would have gotten a much better deal on Loveland as well.
So, Corey, and I understand that. At the end of the day here, when we're at our turn, we're drafting by our rankings. Colson Loveland is the best player available on our board.
I know. I just don't think you guys should have been drafting at the turn because you had such vastly different opinions than other people, so you had to reach so much.
To a degree. But again, when I pop in the power rankings, the team that shows up one is Stacks and Stone. Like, that's all that really matters to what I think about what happened on the draft.
Yeah. I mean, again, if you guys end up being one of the best teams in the league, like, kudos to you because you are on an island with a lot of your collective opinions on your team.
And we fully understand that, and we almost kind of embrace it because at the end of the day, it makes it easier if we do have success to point to the misunderstood genius, cultural archetype.
I just think philosophically, you guys should have not picked a turn pick, knowing you had such vastly different rankings than other people. That's what
which is fair. We planned on taking 109, and Zach kind of fucking threw a loop.
I mean, yeah, I thought you guys were going to end up with 108. Was the pick that I thought you were going to get. Well, I know Mason took it, but I would have expected the 108 to fall to you guys. Not
8 or 9.
I figured the 109 would have been gone by the time you guys got a chance to pick.
I mean, that's how I feel. Not a huge reach for Loveland. Again, I have him ranked at 29 overall. That's kind of all
we'll revisit it.
That's all I've been saying. It's like people are very vocal on it, but I look at my running back,
please don't compare Danny to LeBron.
I mean, it might be a good take. I can't lie.
No, don't compare Danny to LeBron here. Okay, what do we got? We have tons of receivers. We probably need to make a selection at quarterback or something here. Yeah, I'd be fine with Knicks. I'd be fine with Mahomes too. I'd be actually double tapping with you. I'd be fine double tapping these two quarterbacks. Yeah,
same page here. If we miss out on Mahomes, maybe we backtrack to try to take Kyler in the next round. But I think we're in a good spot. Yes, that's a go-to for me. Honestly, and it's funny because I can say it truthfully.
Knicks win. Okay, we take Mahomes here.
Mahomes. I can say it truthfully. Last year, the reason why I made so many trades because I didn't like my team at the draft, but I traded for a team that I liked. And it's funny because I was actually recounting this in the DMs with Nathan. But I basically saved Nathan from the toilet bowl, right?
How so?
So when you look at the year, I was so panicked on my running back production because I had Jaylen Warren giving me consistent production, but Ken Walker was.
We want to take Worthy here really quick. Sorry.
Or do you want to take a quarterback to get ahead of the run?
I'm fine pushing it. I think we can wait on Kyler personally.
I think we could take a quarterback and then still take Kyler if we had to.
I mean, I think we should. Let's take Worthy, man. I think we can wait on Kyler. Yeah. I don't think we're going to need to double tap here.
But going back to last year, right? I was so hyper fixated on fixing my running back core because Ken Walker wasn't doing it at the time. He split him with Charbonnet. Jaylen Warren, he was giving me consistent production, but I didn't really have a true ceiling raiser at the running back position. And when you look at the maneuvering that I did with Nathan, so first of all, I gave him a top 15 receiver in Wandale because I was convinced that Tony Pollard was going to get dealt at the deadline and that Tajay Spears was going to give me running back to you production. Yeah, complete L. It was a desperation move. I plugged my nose when I did it, but I was so good at receiver at the time prior to injury that I felt it was best for my team. Okay. Then you look at the Jefferson Nakua debacle. You get Jefferson, Derrick Henry, and one other, or Jordan Addison. Jefferson, Henry, and Addison. You know what I gave him?
What?
Puka Nakua, Jaylen Warren, and Alec Pierce. Oh, by the way, all those guys were fantastic down the stretch.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then, I mean, we could talk about other minor news, but like Nathan basically in the DMs is like, appreciate you for that because if you didn't do that, I 100% would have gotten last. And I'm like, you know what? You're not wrong. I was so desperate for the running back that I ended up fucking folding my whole season trying to acquire it.
Yeah, pretty much. Thankfully last year I didn't panic on running back and they kind of just came to me. Like I lucked into Tyrone Tracy, obviously, because Scatterboo got hurt. I picked up Vidal, who was like the best waiver pickup I made all year because I started him like 4 or 5 separate times. I ended up getting Kenneth Walker back from you and he actually was half decent when I had him. You know what's crazy when I look at my team, Danny? My team is an amalgamation of Avery and Nathan's team last year. Have you ever noticed this? My team has Puka, Kyron, Garrett, and Judkins, which were on Nathan's team. And then I have Laporta, Kyron, and somebody else, Pittman, that Avery had last year.
Jesus. And also, this profile picture is going to live with me forever.
That is fucking hilarious.
If it wasn't for the trades and the change in the middle of the season, you would have been. Well, that's the thing too. And I mean, obviously, I kind of joked about it in my comedy little skit, but Mason just randomly changing the freaking toilet bowl rules in the middle of the season.
That was bullshit. I would
have beaten you in round 1 of the toilet bowl. Instead, I got a random bye week.
Yeah, no, we got to get that clear this year. Like in the draft core, are we doing redraft team reviews yet? I mean, if you submit one, we'll do it.
One, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
Also, Lumberjack said, "What do you guys actually do on a best ball review?" I don't actually think we've done one yet, to be honest with you. So we'll let you know when we get to one.
Yeah, no, I don't think we have.
Yeah.
Or you might have done one, maybe max.
I don't think I've ever plugged that you guys can get your portfolio reviews reviewed once. Also, if you're just joining us, I did mention this at the beginning. I just want to say it really quick again before we're on the clock. Our listener league is being drawn tomorrow, and we are drafting Sunday night at 7 p.m. live on the channel. And a bunch of the Flock League finalists are in the league. Tommy, Lumberjack, Dynasty Wizard, and Stun a Goat. So if you want to join that league, the link is in the pinned comment and the description there. Do you want to go Kelsey makes the most sense here, I think, right? Or do you want to grab Baker before we're locked out?
Let's go Baker first, because if
that guy has one quarterback, so let's go with Baker. We might be sniping him. I don't know if he has other guys, but do we have a tight end yet, or is Kelsey our first one if we take him here?
Kelsey would be our first, so hopefully he doesn't take him here.
Yeah, he had Igbuka, so he definitely would have taken him.
Yeah, we have to play a little dirty sometimes, but that's what happened when we got sniped.
Yeah, okay. We roll with Kelsey there. Perfect. And then we'll have a 3 tight end build with K. Dotton as the third, I would imagine, given the Baker option there.
A little thin at the running back position. I'm curious if the tool says 5 or 6. It says 5. Okay. See, but with Mahomes Mayfield, yeah, we probably do need a third just because of the ACL risk. And we'll probably need, probably 3.
I think go to our team really quick one more time. I want to see do we have any backup stacking options that we can go that are like late round quarterback.
Oh,
no, I meant at quarterback. Do we have any?
I mean, we could grab Cam Ward if he's still on the board. Cam Ward would make a lot of sense. He's probably going to be available probably at the next turn.
Yeah, Cam Ward would be the guy that we're hoping to get there because we have Tate.
Rodgers is decent. Still one of my favorite quarterback values on the board. And I think you're kind of warming up to now with all of your Garrett Wilson optimism as well. But like apparently Geno Smith's looking decent. He's going to start a lot of games if he stays healthy, in my opinion.
I don't really love Geno for best ball because if he's a dead asset in week 11, like he's not starting games, I don't love him for best ball, but I do think he could be capable enough for Garrett Wilson as long as he's a starting quarterback. I just worry about in a tournament where all the money's in week 17, is Geno Smith still starting games in week 17 is my worry.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. However, I do think when he does play, he can offer like top 20 to 24 quarterback type of appeal. So at cost, I mean, one of my other clicks that I was clicking before. No, obviously, I don't know my exact percentage, but it was Tua Tagovailoa, and that.
Yeah, I was also clicking Tua quite a bit as well. I gotta adjust. That's one thing I need to adjust in the projections is that I probably need to flip how many games I have Penix and Tua starting respectively.
Yeah.
I also think I should probably move Drake London down a little bit with Penix starting because my thesis for liking Drake London was a large part to do with at least Tua was accurate and he could get a lot of receptions that way. And same with Pitts too. I should probably move him down a little too. Because I think the fact that Tua has looked bad is just a bear signal on the offense overall.
So because I already moved Nico over him, I can't really lower him than wide receiver 8 because at the end of the day, even though it is a risk with Penix running the offense, still 19.5 points per game in the first 10 weeks last year with Penix. So I don't want to.
He was. Yeah, I can't really move Drake London down much more than I already have him. The only change I could make, I suppose, is moving Genty and Walker ahead of him.
That's fair. That would be a good capitulation.
I'll move Walker ahead of him. I'll capitulate on Walker. But yeah, I don't think that. I think that it's worrisome for the Falcons offense overall if Tua looks bad because Tua is the better quarterback, in my opinion, of the two of them, at least at their best.
This tank Bigsby all day, by the way, if he falls, right?
Well, we got to take Ward first.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, because he's got one. Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Let's go with Cam Ward here as our third QB. We're going to need a running back. Like you said, hopefully Bigsby does fall back to us here. He's only got 4. This guy's got 4 running backs already. Running back falls off of a fucking cliff after this, so hopefully he doesn't take him.
Speaking of Carnell Tate, real quick, obviously we took Cam Ward. The recent practice, I believe yesterday's practice, apparently he had a great day in joint practice against the Bears, was the clear #1 target for the Titans that day. Like they were at the podium basically talking about their connection. And we get the report today basically from Teron Davenport, but that the plan that hasn't really materialized in the preseason yet. But in the season, they really want to make sure it's a point of emphasis that we're moving him around the formation, getting him easier looks. Like it looks like they're not just going to pigeonhole Carnell Tate straight into an X wide receiver. It actually at least looks like they're going to try to make an effort to get him, advantageous spots.
Well, he's not going in the slot because that's where Wandale is.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. So I still think in condensed formations, he can slide inside. Maybe have an Alec or a Jameer playing at X, a sacrificial
But where is Wandale going to play if
situation.
he's in the slot?
Well, Wandale's not going to play all the snaps, especially not in 12.
I don't know. I would, if I had to put money on who runs the most routes on the Titans, I would put it on Wandale over Tate.
Let me get the exact report, but no. You see. I saw the quote earlier today.
I think Carnell's going to be an awesome player in the league for a long time. I do think I'm a little lower on him just logistically because I think that there's going to be some like growing pains early on in the year for him.
We'll see. I'm trying to find the report. It was from Teron Davenport earlier today.
Yeah, I agree with Chaz here. Like, I actually, of the two receivers, who do I prefer more at cost? I prefer Wandale at cost, personally.
I think that take is going to age like milk, respectfully.
I mean, maybe it will, but Wandale is an 11th round pick or a 10th round pick in most formats, unless you're Rome and take him in like the 6th round.
I think Rome's going to be closer to home league ADP, though, is what you got to understand.
Maybe, like, if you're talking about let's say Wandale is a 7-8 turn pick, and Carnell Tate in a home league is an early 6th. I would take Carnell Tate in that situation, but I think in most like leagues where people know what they're doing, Wandale should be like a 9th or a 10th rounder. So I would take Wandale at that cost versus in leagues where people know what they're doing, Tate is probably more like a 5-6 turn pick.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to argue that type of difference, sure.
That's why I said at cost. I think he's a good. I think he's a good at cost pick. Especially if you went like. If you're like a Malik Neighbors team, for example, and you have like some question marks early on in the season at your wide receiver core, I think that Wandale's a good piece.
This is kind of where I'm at with it with what Scribble says here. At the end of the day, if you're trying to actually make this a good offense, one that can sustainably get the ball down the field, score some points, you're just not going to be doing it with Wandale as your main target funnel.
I think Wandale's better than people think, man. I think the offense is going to be bad, though, to be perfectly clear about that. I think the offense is going to be probably one of the worst 5 to 10 units in the league. And as a passing offense, probably one of the worst 5 units in the league. But anyways, we're on the board. Do you want to grab Dylan Sampson, maybe? Or Emmett John? We go Emmett. Oh, we already have Kenneth Walker. Never mind.
I'm cool with Sampson.
Let's go with Sampson. We definitely are going to need a 6th running back, I think.
Or Kalen Black, maybe.
I think we might be able to get him with our next pick if we want to draft him right here. Again, we can, or we could wait. We only have one tight end. Do we have a tight end option? Go to the tight end position really quick, Spicy. I don't want anything to do with Sadiq, to be honest with you. I'd be cool with Gadsden, or we have Cade and Gunnar Helm.
I don't want to take Gadsden if we're not considering Sadiq.
Well, Gadsden at least is not a rookie who missed all of training camp, and he correlates to our stack in week 17 with the Chiefs.
He's splitting first team snaps 3 ways right now.
I mean, we have 4 Kansas City Chiefs, though.
Let's go Auden then.
Okay, I'm fine with Cade.
Okay. Yeah, because I think
we're fine with Helm, to be honest, too, but I'd rather go with Cade because I like him better.
Because I was going to say, if we're not drafting Sadiq because of risk, I don't think we can take Gadsden because of risk.
I just, in redraft or like waiver wire speed dial land or whatever, cool with Gadsden. I think he could be a stone 0 in best ball, and I don't want to draft him.
Yeah, I agree with Gadsden there.
Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of either of Sadiq or Gadsden, to be honest, at this point. I was really high on Gadsden at the beginning of the offseason, but the rhetoric has been basically all negative, so I can't really...
It hasn't been good.
I can't copium my way into Gadsden. It wouldn't shock me, though, if it was a little bit overblown once we get into like week 3, if Gadsden's like running 70% of the routes and only playing 55% of the snaps overall. It wouldn't shock me if that was the case. I just you can't bet on that based on what the rhetoric has been around him.
Yeah, I mean, it has not been good, that's for sure.
Yeah. Cleveland's 92 says, how do I get in the listener league? I've been listening for years. So the listener league is pinned in the live chat right now. It's also pinned. It's in the description of this live stream. If you want to get in, you have a chance for up to 9 entries. If you are an underdog code user in the year 2026, so January 1st to now, if you used our underdog code, you'll be entered for 4 chances to get in. For that, you get 5 ballots to get in if you're an annual mother flocker, and those stack too. So the best chance you'd have to get into the listener league is to be both of those things. But you can also enter for free. You'll get one ballot that way. And going down the list, if you're just a season pass holder, if you a monthly subscriber, whatever, you get more ballots. Essentially, that has always been part of our using our code, is that you get into listener leagues with us.
It's gonna be a fun league, brother. It's gonna be a fun league.
Yeah, it is gonna be a fun league. And I will say, I wish this league was the Flock League, because I've literally won it twice and made the finals 3 times. So I would love if that was the Flock League and not the actual Flock League.
So what, I won it 3 years ago, you won it 2 years ago, and Arthur won it this year, right?
Yeah, and I was in the finals against Arthur. Like I won the league 2 years ago, and I made the finals this year. Arthur kind of took a strip off of me in the finals, beat the shit out of me with Puka and some of the guys that snapped off. But my team in 2024 was legitimately the best redraft team I've ever assembled. That team was unbelievably good. I had Breece Hall and Bucky Irving on my bench in the finals.
My team the year before that was pretty damn good too. We've built some units in that league, and I mean, Arthur was all studs and duds, and then his duds actually ended up because it was a tight end premium too. Like, he had some tight ends that were just giving him 15 plus points per game down the stretch. I want to say he Ferguson. He was one of the Rams tight ends. He started one of the Rams tight ends, and they popped off in the championship against, It
didn't matter because I already had lost the matchup at that point, and I believe he had. Did he have Bijan and Puka?
Bijan and Nakua.
Or no, it was Achan and Nakua.
No, he had Bijan and Nakua.
Oh, okay, yeah, and they scored 90 points in the championship. Yeah. So I mean, I had no chance of that.
I lost in the semis, and my entire team just died going into the semifinal game. That was fucked. Rashid Rice and co just fucking decided, hey, yeah, we're not going to play for the rest of the season. That was interesting.
Yeah. Oh, fun time. God, my team was unbelievable in 2024, dude. Once we're done picking here, I'll quickly rattle it off. It's absolutely insane. I've never seen a team this good. We need another tight end here. Now I would be okay with Gadsden because we could use an upside swing because we have 2 safe guys and we have the correlation. I mean, Helm is on the board too if you want to go with Helm instead.
Yeah, I'd rather go Helm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Crazy that we're 18th round. Aronde Gadsden is where we landed after his rookie year. Do we need, what is the thing suggesting we take another wide receiver? Probably. Yeah. I'd be cool with Jennings if you want to go Jennings here. I'd be fine with Malik Washington as well. Jeremy Bernard, I'd be fine with. He has correlation for us.
Yeah, let's go Branch maybe. Or
it's too late for that.
Yeah, sure. Let's go. That's fine.
Yeah, Jennings is fine.
Okay.
Here's just, let me really quick. This is the dumbest fucking team I've ever assembled in my life. In our listener redraft league in 2024, I won the championship. I absolutely dominated in the championship. Lamar Jackson, Breece Hall, Chase Brown, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Mike Evans, T. Higgins, Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbors, Bucky Irving. That was my starting lineup. I had literally some of the biggest league winners down the stretch, like Chase Brown and Bucky Irving. And then also the best tight end in fantasy, the best quarterback in fantasy. Jameson Williams and James Cook were on my bench, dog. James Cook and Jameson Williams were on my bench on this team. Jesus. Insane. I've never assembled a redraft team ever that good, and I don't think I ever will again.
Who did you please for that?
I got Malik Neighbors for, I can't remember. I traded Jonathan Taylor and Chuba Hubbard away, which was both of those guys were actually really good in 2024, especially down the stretch. But I got James Cook, Jameson Williams, Malik Neighbors for them. I drafted pretty much most of the players on my team, though. I drafted Bowers, I drafted Lamar, I drafted Breece Hall, I drafted T. Higgins, I drafted JS. I drafted a lot of the players that I had. So I just had one of the dumbest teams I've ever seen.
Yeah, my bench was just whatever. But you remember the 2023 Tyreek Hill year that I traded
God, this
for
looks so much grosser than it probably was in 2023.
Bro,
Pacheco and Aaron Jones and Tua in your lineup.
2023 Tyreek Hill, who was a 25 point per game scorer pretty much. Justin Jefferson literally missed 7 games this year, but was a 20 point per game scorer when he played. So he was in my lineup. Nico Collins, this was his breakout year. 2023, he scored as the wide receiver 12. I had fucking Rashid Rice, who, if we remember down the stretch in 2023, was unfuckwithable. I had fucking Brandon Ayuk.
Has Rashid Rice ever put together a good full season, or is he just only good down the stretch every year?
Well, bro, my receivers were Collins, Jefferson, Rice, Ayuk, and Tyreek Hill, who all gave me combined fucking basically I mean, each of them between 15 and 25 points per game. I beat Brock that year in the playoffs. Even Pacheco was a top 15 running back this year. Aaron Jones, let me see what he did 2023. So
he was solid in 2023, I think.
Yeah, he missed time, but he was like a 12, 13 point per game score. He's my RB2. David Njoku, I believe, was pretty good in 2023, if I remember right. Yeah, he was a tight end 6 in fantasy. Godwin, who I literally didn't even start in the final week, but he scored 210 points in 17 games. So he was a top 30th receiver. Like, I had like receivers out of the fucking ass that season. I had like 5 top 15 guys and another top 30 guy.
Yeah, no, it's wild. Okay, let's do one more draft here, and then we will get to our questions. We are going to go through. We have 8 team reviews and 9 trade questions that we're going to get to after this is done. Do we want to do a puppy? Does the chat want a puppy? The puppy 4 is live right now, a $5 entry if anybody wants to join it. Or do we want to do another best ball mania, because we are kind of running up on the time limit here as far as how many more best ball manias we're going to get in the chamber. And based on our history on this account, we probably should do as many best ball manias as we can, because we almost won the damn thing last year and we've made the finals in this league, on this account before. How many we got? 26?
We need to get to at least, what do you want to say? By the time drafts are done, 35, 40?
I mean, that's a lot more streams, brother. We only got like a week until
we only have a week left. If we do one now and then we do another stream of 3, then we'd be at 30.
Yeah, let's do another best ball mania. We gotta get the best ball mania bags packed. The puppy just doesn't get me going, unfortunately. All right, we're gonna join this best ball mania in 10 seconds. If you guys want to join it, go to the main lobby, best ball mania 7, hit confirm, and we hit confirm. That'll be about 7 seconds from now, and we shall get into another best ball mania draft. And again, if you guys want to submit super messages, trade questions on the site, team reviews on the site, we're gonna get into those as soon as we are done here. So we will get into that then as well. You know what's crazy? Danny, somebody submitted a team review on the site, and it just has the price of Bitcoin as the screenshot. What? Like, I'm not even shitting you. Look at this. Shout out to Clever Lion here. Submitted a team review, and it's just the price of Bitcoin is the screenshot that he sent in. So I guess, I mean, he thinks he's going to the moon out here. So
is he saying, hey, I'm blessed on my Bitcoin? Here's a free team review or whatever?
I mean, Clever Lion, I will send you a team review voucher, because I feel bad that you paid $67 to submit Bitcoin's price when you could have just messaged us to look it up or something. I gave you a free team review for that, because I think that is a good idea. Also, I am fucking trolling heavily. We should be doing a giveaway right now, shouldn't we?
We should.
Giveaway tool. Drafting fantasy football teams live. Okay, what is the text that we want in the chat? We will give away a free season pass to anybody in the chat who comments season pass. Let's just keep it simple. You comment season pass, you'll be entered to win a free season pass at the end of this stream, and we shall get that in here. Let me quickly type this in, start collecting comments. All right. Anybody who comments in season pass with a space, not one. Okay, everybody's doing no space. Okay, we need a space in there, fellas. We need a space. There we go. LeBron James 7008 gets it in there. Season pass with a space, and you will be entered in. You only need to put it in once, though. I should say you can only be entered once into the giveaway, so just type it in once.
Winner gets a free Bentley from Avery.
Yes, winner gets a free Bentley from Avery. Season space pass. Season space pass. If you put season pass all one word, you will not be entered, because I'm not personally checking these comments. They are just being automatically collected. I would love a 104 Jamar. I would not say a no to that, but
come on, Zoom.
Yeah, also make sure you like the stream as well. We can't actually prove that you need to like the stream, but we would appreciate if you like the stream.
We'll take the SOAS man himself.
Yeah, let's go with Puka Nacua. I will say that like the start of the regular season is a little bit of a like, can we get there already for me? Because I drafted a player that could technically still be suspended. And I'm just like, please, for the love of God, don't get suspended before the season starts. That's where I'm at with Nacua. And the other thing is like, part of me is like, okay, shout out to the greed of the NFL. The NFL loves money. The NFL is playing a game in Melbourne or whatever, Australia, for the first game of the season. Are they really going to suspend Puka Nacua for that game? Like, part of me is just copiuming my way into him not being suspended.
I'm getting the Illuminati after you, so he gets suspended one game when he plays against us.
Yes. If I win, I get to name your second cat Busch. Yeah. So I was talking to Skylar in Texas because Maria and I are hoping to get another cat at some point because Mozzie's very lonely. And apparently
less bumping your mic.
His girl have two cats. You just said Mike and it fucked me up.
Hey,
they have two mics. Two guys named Mike in their house.
Hey, Mozzie's been fucking rolling on the mic. Now he has another cat to roll on and stuff, you know?
Yeah, Danny just fucking fucked me up there. I just ruined the whole...
You got two mics.
How many games do you guys think Jacobs will be suspended? I mean, it's hard to tell, man. I would just say stay away from Jacobs in general.
Hopefully
if you got a draft this weekend, just let some other poor schmuck in your league draft him. Somebody's going to do it. Like, no, he's not going to go in the 9th round of fantasy drafts. Like, somebody's going to get on the board in the early 4th, the mid 5th or something like that and be like, yeah, I think this is worth the risk here.
Hey, hopefully all of them, to answer your question.
Yeah, I mean, Danny is obviously personally going to benefit from Josh Jacobs being suspended as the Marshawn Lloyd manager. And you know what? I hope Kenneth Walker, has some shit happen to him because I would personally benefit from that. You can't play a morality card. You just did it with Jacobs.
Hey,
so.
you could pick anybody else in the league.
I'm sorry, that's the only handcuff I have.
Just talk about another one.
Okay, well, I hope something happens to Bucky Irving then because I have Kenneth Gainwell.
There you go.
I hope something happens to DeAndre Swift because it would be funny to see Rome crash out and I have Kyle Menengai.
That's the perfect one. DeAndre Swift. Who cares
let's
about
not say
guy?
Bucky, actually. Let's not say Bucky because I want the Bucks to win games. So,
dude, say Rashad White. You got Katron.
I do have Katron, but then I would have to pay AJ $5,000 if I win the league. Because
I
told him
you want to win the league?
I want to win the league, but I don't have to pay him $5,000.
Oh, come on.
I mean, that would be electric, though, if Lumberjack did, if he made one pick for me in the draft and he ended up being a fucking league winner, that would be electric.
I don't know. I think the good positive energy has really helped just keep faith this year. Like, we get the Genty scare, and I don't know, man. Like, I feel like a new perspective for me led to that being an ankle sprain instead of a lot worse.
Do we go with the uniqueness of Genty here? I don't have a lot of Genty, so I'm fine with it.
I think we do.
Okay, Danny, you have a lot invested in Genty, but I don't, so I'm cool making the risk here. I think it's perfect for me. It's totally perfect for me because I only had like 5% Genty before this news, so now I can actually pack a little bit and know that I got him at like a great value every time.
I agree, MT. In fact, it's going to be a last to first situation.
Danny can't be last 2 years in a row, but you're forgetting something that it would be Danny and Sammy being last this year, so it's not just Danny this time.
We're not going to be last, though. Truthfully, outside of wide receiver, we love every single other part of our team.
Well, I got plenty of receivers if you'd like to deal me a running back. I'll buy Genty off your hands. I'll take them off your hands.
Oh, Genty and Walker wouldn't go anywhere. Once everybody sharpens up to how good Jordan Mason and Jalen Warren are, is probably going to be our leverage point.
I could stomach giving you Judkins plus for a Genty if you were down for it.
I'm good. Scribbles, don't worry. It's not going to happen.
I could stomach giving you Kyron for Genty and a piece.
I'd rather throw up.
All right. Do we do something else that would make things a little unique here?
He got taken.
I wasn't talking about him.
Oh, I would take Olave over Rice.
So I would personally want to go Rice here, but
I
would also be fine capitulating and making neither of us happy with Smith.
I mean, we both like Smith too, but don't you have Olave highest?
No, I have Rice and Smith one spot ahead of Olave, respectively. But I'm cool with Olave if you want to go with him.
Your call.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Chris Olave. There we go.
You can have the 4-5
7th place team here.
You can have the 4-5 turn.
But yeah, if you guys are just joining us and you want a free season pass, comment season space pass in the chat and like the stream and you will be entered. And just to give you guys an idea, like when Mason does these streams, hundreds of people put season pass in the chat. We have like 16 entries right now. You got a very good chance of winning. So
very, very good.
I would like think about the inherent odds that you have in Mason streams when 375 people comment season pass in 25 seconds.
I love Kale McCarr, but that just makes me feel so much better about the Hudson, Demidov, Slavkot. Like we got like 4 players for like 20.4 million combined. Cap's going up in the NHL though. Cap's going up in the NHL. So
you know the risk snaggle of commenting shit that's going to get.
Come on, you like hockey too. Let's be real.
I like hockey too, but not a week before the season.
Yeah, but I mean, hockey's starting in what, probably a month, right?
Yeah, when it starts, we can talk about it. I know weekly low scores has punishment. Looking forward to seeing all those videos this year. I'm not looking forward to doing any of them. So hopefully I don't come in last. Some of them are embarrassing.
Dude.
Some of them are straight up sus. Like
I'll spoil this one because it wasn't one of the ones we watched in Texas. It was one of the ones that was sent in the group chat like a week ago. But randomly after the draft, I think it was Mason tagged me and Sammy. He's like, get ready for week 1. And it was a video of somebody with a whole fucking crown of hot dogs on their head with a bunch of mayo spread around. And they just keep repeating, I'm the hot dog mayo man.
I actually would do that. I would do that without losing.
So disgusting.
I think that's so much better. That dude, some of the ones where it was like you had to like
you want mayo on your face like that, and
brother, you want to bend over and go, "Thank you, Lamar Jackson." Like that's way worse, bro. That's way worse.
Hot dog mayo man was scarring. Bro.
Hot dog mayo man is light work compared to some of the sus shit that these guys were picking off.
Oh, I wish. Let me see if I can find hot dog mayo man for those.
Hot dog mayo man, I will do any day of the week over that shit. I'm not trying to have like my future children watch a video of me going, "Thank you, Lamar Jackson."
Bro.
Okay.
So by the way,
hold on, we're on the clock here. Do you want to go T-Mac just because of the ADP slide?
Sure. We could
get a little unique with this.
Why not? Feeling like domain.
This is a domain ass draft here. Needs to eat some more wet dog beans. The fuck does that even mean?
I don't know, but stink bug was fucking scarring, bro.
Yeah, that looked disgusting.
Wet dog was one of the jelly beans.
Was it?
But I don't think he got wet dog.
I think I got out of it.
Yeah. What does it taste like?
For a good cost, I wouldn't mind, and not something I want to find out. That's for sure. This guy, all this guy had to do was wear a fucking t-shirt and ride a scooter around.
Dude, why do you think I drafted Garrett over Justin Jefferson?
And the scooter too was just like 5 minutes around the Airbnb. By the way, the
scooter was high key fun.
He's just having fun.
Yeah, but did you win Cowboys tickets? No, I'm kidding.
I did not win Cowboys tickets, but why? So part of me being like, oh, I'm gonna take Garrett Wilson over Justin Jefferson here is like, I was like, dude, first of all, I think I'm a better fantasy player than coming in last, even if this doesn't work out. I wasn't, obviously, but I felt like, I would have been able to handle wearing a t-shirt. Like it wasn't like a big deal.
Ooh, scary.
Yeah. We want to go Tootin here
or Irving, your call.
I have so much Bucky. I'm cool not taking Bucky because I have an ass ton of them.
It's funny because like both of them are kind of risky. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, oh yeah, maybe we take a more stable running back because we have Genty and like the
we'll need a better RB3 and 4, I think.
Yeah, we'll chill. Maybe like a little Jalen Moore in action. We'll feed this goal.
Has there been an update on how the season bets for last year played out? I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, brother. We did not track them.
We keep saying, oh yeah, you got it. No, you got it, and then you just never actually.
I'm gonna be full on serious with you guys for 1 second. These season bets, somebody's gonna have to track them for us, or they're not getting tracked.
Dude, it's been performative at this point.
It is performative. It's not because we don't want to track them. It's because I don't feel like doing it. And if I track them, I need to write them on pen and paper because that's the only way I can just track them like that. Like I'll do it if it's that case, but like, yeah, we're challenging here. Nah, bro. Yeah. Busch just had I did have Garrett over Justin Jefferson, but like if the league was for $100,000, would I have like seriously rethought my opinion on the clock? Probably. Like in that video, Sal literally said my rankings are wrong. Like I'm gonna go with Jonathan Taylor here or whatever. Because remember he was like, right now it says my highest ranked player is Drake London, but I'm being battle tested, so I'm gonna go Jonathan Taylor. I probably would have been battle tested had the league meant a lot more at that point in time, and I probably would have taken Jefferson.
Also, Arthur, Genty is ranked as my 17th overall player. I think Busch said he has him 18 or 19.
Yeah, he's at 19 for me at the moment. More positive news, and I'll continue to move him up, but not a huge fan of investing in already injured players. Yeah, Brock, we are drawing for the redraft league. We're going to draw tomorrow afternoon. So anybody with, wants to get a chance to get in the league, there's still plenty of spots where you could have a good chance because most of the entries that have submitted so far have been free entries. So if you're a season pass holder or mother flocker on the site, you have a pretty good chance of getting in the league. We are only giving away 5 spots because we decided to do a Make-A-Wish flock league. and give spots to some of the finalists, which, by the way, Spicy, being that you were one of them, you can join the league if you'd like as well. And then there would only be 4 spots to give away. But Stun a Goat, Skylar, aka Lumberjack, Tommy, and Dynasty Wizard, and Arthur, of course, won the league last year. And the rule is if you win the league, you get to be in the league the next year. Are already in the league. So we're only giving away 5 spots for Spicy. If you throw a thumbs up, if you want to be in the league, just let us know.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Bush, that sounds like copium, not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean it is copium, let's be honest. I probably would have taken Garrett Wilson. Please rig that draw for me. I'll do my best, brother.
Damn, we almost got a fucking steal at the 4-9. I'm just seeing that Loveland pick. I'm like, shit.
All my Carnell Tate and Colston Loveland shares come when I draft with you. So
it's the best.
Do we want to grab this kind of board kind of blows? I can't go to ADP for a second.
Let's take a nice little safety running back like Warren, no?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're just gonna take Jalen Warren every draft.
I mean, you also have him ahead of ADP, to be fair.
No, I have him exactly where he goes. I have him at 62.
70. Oh, it's at 62 on the thing.
These aren't my ranks, are they? Aren't they our combined ranks?
No, I saw next to your head, it said 62.
Oh, I don't know why it says that. I'm looking at my rankings. It says 70 on them.
Oh, okay.
I moved him down a few weeks ago, but it should have been updated by now. When Dowdle started getting some buzz that it was going to be a 50-50, I moved him down. We want Spicy, justice for Spicy. Yeah, if Spicy wants to join, he's definitely in. And he just said, just need to know when the draft is. It's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Spicy, if you're available for that. I don't know if you are or not. You're smacking yourself in the head. Maybe you're not available.
No, I thought when you guys said the drawing was tomorrow, I thought you guys were just going to stream the drawing and then.
Oh, sorry. Did I say tomorrow night also? It's Sunday night. It's Sunday night at 7
Sunday night is the draft.
Oh, but tomorrow you guys are drawing.
Sorry, tomorrow. Yeah, I'm being dumb. Tomorrow we are drawing the names for it, but because there's some time where people need to join the league and we got to vote on rules and stuff, Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern is when we're actually doing the draft.
Okay.
And we also need some time, if people can't join, they're not joining right away, we got to roll provisionals and stuff. So, okay. But hopefully we'll get everybody
I'll
in
follow
pretty
the
quickly.
Then, because Sunday night I won't be available. So.
Okay, sounds good. But yeah, we'll. What weekend do y'all draft this weekend? Yeah, it'll be Sunday night at 7 p.m. We'll live stream it as we always do with the Listener League. If people want to hop into the StreamYard and talk about their picks and whatnot, it's cool this time because people have already been on camera before most of the time, like Wizard and Stun a Goat and Lumberjack and all. You guys have all kind of introduced yourselves already, which is nice.
Do you want to go with a quarterback here? Do you want to go with a running back or?
I'd be fine taking a safety Brooks, or if we want to just go straight balls to the wall a safety Pollard, or go straight balls to the wall with Brooks.
Fuck it.
Let's go Brooks. Let's go Brooks. Fuck it. This team is definitely not going to fucking advance, but I'm cool going balls to the wall on it.
Fuck it, we ball, baby. I haven't really been clicking Brooks in the 70s because of my CLV on him, but I also want to mix in some type of textures with him in the 7th round because, again, I think the whole ADP landscape has kind of shifted along with him that, I mean, for example, even though Cyrus Howell was an 18th round pick, he's now a 14th rounder. I just think there's so many different unique combinations. And again, you can argue from a grand scheme, it's been more inefficient now than it was back then, in terms of creating better combos. At the same time, it's you never know in week 17 if that 18th rounder outscores the 10th rounder. That happens specifically because of the ADP shifts.
Yeah, my opinion on Brooks was always, he's going to go up in price because I think he's healthy. So I'm going to pack the fuck out of my bags in May and June, and then I'm not drafting him again after that because I do think that I didn't want to be over market on him because I wanted to be about at 8.3%, give or take, because I like what the upside case is, but I also think there's a lot of risk with him. So I'm glad I packed my bags where I did because now I don't have to draft him again.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'll slide to the 90s and maybe I would take him at that point, but I don't want to draft him where he's currently going.
I have 27% Brooks at an average ADP of 111.2.
Yeah. This might be the first time I've taken him since he was a pick in the hundreds, to be honest.
Makes sense. I have 22% Casey Concepcion, 23% Bashal Tootin at a 58 average cost. So that feels pretty good. Jalen Warren's gone up a little bit. Ryan Flournoy's got up a little bit. My big fallers are B-Robs went down 10 picks. I don't really know why, to be honest. He went just ran. That's probably just because like other sleepers are emerging that just rise.
Yeah, it's probably because like Jacoby Lane types and stuff started going up.
Yeah, makes sense. Jonah Coleman's a weird one. He's somehow gone down in ADP, which I don't understand at all. But maybe that's just because I was reaching on him at some points. Like I was taking him well above his old ADP. Is the only thing I can really explain there. Yeah, I mean Travis Hunter though, definitely a big time ouch.
Yeah, my big time ouch is Aronde Gadsden. I had a lot of shares of him when he was like a pick in the 140s, so that sucks.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. And I wish I had 100% CeeDee Lamb, but only trailing behind at 19.9%. Aren't you proud of me though? It's not above 20. It's not above 20.
Yeah, Tank Dell is. I mean, he's not going down in price, and I still think he can pay off. But yeah, I have a fucking ass ton of him. So
yeah, and I mean, we need probably a receiver at this next pick, I would assume, right?
Yeah, we got to get some receivers for sure. Yeah, Eli Stowers has been a fucking absolute L.
Oh, dude, yeah, he's been atrocious. Apparently, he's been atrocious. We're wiped at quarterback here, by the way, so we're probably gonna have to wait another turn.
Oof.
So wide receiver,
I'd be cool with Sutton here. Let's grab a safe guy. I'd be cool with Michael Wilson as well if you want to go with him.
I'm cool with either or.
Let's go Sutton. Sutton's a better option in my opinion.
It's more the roles in the offense. I think we can acknowledge that Pickens has had a good camp, but also when the games start, we just have such a proven track record of CeeDee Lamb being the go-to A target in the offense, B just in terms of the system being that chain mover as opposed to Pickens being the downfield guy. But
he's also flashier too. So people saying Pickens looks better in camp isn't totally surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, like part of me kind of wishes a little bit that I should have taken another receiver with my Kyron pick in the Flock League draft. Like, cause I could have taken Devontae Smith or George Pickens and had, Nakua, Collins.
You would have missed out on
Devontae
Garrett,
Smith or Pickens. Huh?
You would have missed out on Garrett though. So I don't mind your combination.
I know. I would have had to take DeAndre Swift or Travis Etienne where I took Wilson, which I would prefer the combination of Kyron and Garrett to Devontae Smith and Swift personally. Maybe people disagree with that, but that I would prefer the Kyron and Garrett side of that.
It's at least a combo for sure. But I mean, it just
my intention was to do the inverted full house though. I don't know if you probably caught on to that during the draft that after I took Puka and Collins, my intention was actually, and Kyron, my intention was actually to take 2 running backs at the 4 or 5 turn, but I couldn't pass on Garrett Wilson.
Well, yeah, you couldn't either. And to be fair, you still ended up getting Judkins for your touches. I don't know how you filled out your running back core. I'm trying to remember. Gainwell,
Menengai, Emmett Johnson. My plan was hope that one of Tootin or Bucky had fallen to me at the 409. That was my hope. Wilson fell, so we can just take Wilson.
Yeah, we'll take Michael Wilson here.
Or do you want to take Bo Nix?
Let's try to push him.
Push him. We might be shit out of luck at quarterback at some point. I mean, we're gonna take Bryce at some point. We have 2 Panthers.
Worst case, we take 3 quarterbacks in a row with our next 3 picks.
We also have Shuck live with Olave, and we could take a Brissett if we wanted to.
Yeah. I think it has merit though, and I think those 2 things don't have to be mutually exclusive. I think that's the big point that I've been making this offseason. It's like, I understand people want to say, well, the difference between Pickens and Lamb is less now. And it's like, yeah, sure. Pickens had a great year last year. But if this offense is top 3 to 3, top 1 passing unit in the league, both of them can still smash. Like if Dak throws 40 touchdowns, those 2 receivers can easily still smash. So that's, I guess, like the point. Like people can say, well, where Pickens is going, he's like a more valuable pick than Lamb because you're getting the benefit of the doubt that he's the 2, which is a fair rebuttal. I just think if Lamb's the number 1 in a top 3 passing offense, both of them can still be top 8 options at the position. Lamb can be like the wide receiver 3 and Pickens can be wide receiver 8 if Dak in the passing offense is that good. Just like the Bengals 2 years ago. Like we mentioned the 18.5 point per game T year. That was the same year that Jamar Chase literally had the legendary season and Joe Burrow had 40 passing touchdowns. Like if you have a good offense at that capacity, like you're more willing to accept maybe the 8.5 or 9.2 targets per game as opposed to the 10.8, 11.2 he had in 2023.
Yeah. Yeah. It pretty much just, the only thing I worry about is that I don't think that Prescott will have that caliber of season the way that
Sure.
Burrow played out of his fucking mind that year. But he's capable of it from a volume standpoint and whatnot. Mike, that's a good idea. I just frankly think that 45 people would watch that. So I don't think we'll actually make a video like that, but we'll definitely be sure to talk about, best ball portfolios and stuff as the season is going on live streams and whatnot. Because the only people that would actually care are people in live streams, I would imagine. Yeah, people have forgotten that Lamb's the top talent. Drafting for the 104 on Sunday, hoping I land Kyron and Wilson. Yeah, I would imagine that Wilson probably won't fall to the 409 in a lot of leagues, but I'm liking that pick the more that every day goes by, because Wilson, I've never heard Wilson so positive about the Jets. It's weird. He's like so excited about the season.
We just take a little staffy here, right?
Yeah, for the love of God, I hope this guy doesn't take him. He has 2 quarterbacks already and 3 wide receivers. Thank God.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, I have to give credit to Rome. He has kept himself very active, by the way. Like, he's streaming basically every night. Actually hopped on Pete's randomizer the other day as well. He's constantly the one like talking the DM, trying to negotiate deals. Like,
frankly, I kind of made this read on Rome the whole time. No offense to Rome, but I suspected that he wanted to join the Flock League to launch his own content career. That was my instinct at the beginning, which is fine.
I didn't mean it with a negative connotation, though. I like that he's using the opportunity and he's putting himself out there. And like, I respect the grind that he's had. And I messaged him in the DMs. I'm like, I just love that you're willing to get your word out there, get your opinions out there. Because quite frankly, I think you speak it well and you're polarizing. And I think that's partially too, like, some people might watch me and hate my fucking guts, but at the end of the day here, like, people are watching. Like, people are watching and people are making the determination on the fly, whether they'll agree with a certain take or disagree with another, or whether they'll agree with all your takes or disagree with all of them. It's like people's prerogative and their opinions are formed while they're watching, in my opinion.
Sure.
You have no response for that, eh?
I don't know. I think
I like that he's putting himself out there, is what I said.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not shocking that anyone with the Flock. Yeah, which again, I fully respect, and I've talked to him about it.
Do we want to? I know this is really sexless, but our receiver core does kind of need a Romeo Dobbs. And
I would
he's
rather
also a week 17 correlator to Cortland Sutton as well.
I'd rather take Jordan Love or Baker Mayfield here.
Jordan's a buy conflict. I'd be cool with Mayfield if you want to go with him.
I just think if we don't take a quarterback here, we might get completely boned.
Well, we're going to need Bryce at some point as well, or Tyler Shuck if he's off the board, though.
Which makes me rather prioritize the quarterback.
Okay, let's go Mayfield.
Just because it's, say, for example, we get a bad run of quarterbacks before our next pick and we still have to make up 2, most likely, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. I heard Romeo Dobbs is available in the Flock League if you're interested. I am not interested in Romeo Dobbs.
You would be surprised. And me and Rome have talked about it, but I'm like, hey, if you ever need to like talk shit over because like shit's getting to you, like, trust me, I'm available. Some people are tough.
I like Rome was on Survivor, bro. Like I think he should have thicker skin than that. No.
Well, not even that. I've like made myself like available to him. It's not like he complained about it and like.
Oh,
said, like,
okay, right. You're just.
I just said
you're just projecting. You're just like,
no.
You must be in shambles right now.
No, all I said to him is like, if anything's bothering you, feel free to reach out to me. Is all I said to him. Because like I said, like even though you might feel good now, like you never know, like something's gonna rub you the wrong way. If you need to talk about something, I'll talk. That's what I said. It's nothing like negative there.
Yeah, people had felt some type of way about you last year. Thankfully, I haven't received that kind of hate in the section. Like, obviously, after I lost my playoff spot, there was definitely some like Mason bots, NPCs that are like, we never wanted to see Busch in the playoffs anyway. It's like, go fuck yourself. Like, I don't really care about that. But yeah, some of the comments were pretty out of line, not just for Danny on those videos, but some of the ones that Avery got at the beginning of the season, some of the ones that Nathan was getting during the Judkins debacle pick. Like, yeah, people are true. Like, I've never even commented on a YouTube video. That's not like one of my people that I know.
Well, I mean, that's the issue is people are so invested into something that they They don't really consider like what's not on the camera. So they'll be overly committed to what's actually on the camera rather than trying to understand the full picture.
Yeah, no one
And I
was
feel
ever
like-
gonna try and understand what we were going through during
Very,
that time.
very
Which the-
short term,
yeah.
by the way. It's all the hate is always short term.
It is always
Yeah.
short
And
term.
people
like-
hated Danny. Danny does the punishment. People love Danny. Then
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's all the narrative. And
Well, that's
hated
what me
Rome
and
'cause of
Mason
his
kept telling
team.
you last year was that people will forget about it if you
Yeah.
just go and if you just sit in front of a camera and go, yeah, I fucking kicked the devs, shit happens. Like everyone would have forgotten about that.
which you're not wrong. And it's also completely right because if you remember all the comments year one, they were all calling, oh, Sal's a fraud, this and that, this and that. Like they're saying all that about him. He wins and has a fucking phenomenal year. He is the GOAT in the comment section, if you notice. So what I basically, again, people are really judging our team now, including, you know, the creators, which whatever, everybody has
Yeah,
their
your team
opinions.
sucks.
Which again, like everybody's gonna have their opinions. But if we do go out there and we crush this year, all I know is like people are gonna be saying
we're
that
on
now.
the clock really quick.
Yeah.
I would be cool with
acting
Algier
like they
or
weren't.
Jawan if you're down with either of those, or Coleman even too. We already got a risky core. I kind of like Algier here personally.
Sure. That's kind of gross, but sure.
Okay. Well, you overruled me on Olave, so
That's fine. That's why I didn't say anything. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I appreciate that, by the way. That's how it's going to be. And that's why, like, this year I've been a lot more just relaxed with everything outside of the live stream incident, which has been recounted a couple times. I try to control myself, which, again, for better or worse, has helped me a lot. But sometimes...
why does everyone think I was hammered in that video?
Dude, you were kind of acting hammered off of 2 tequila
I wasn't
shots.
acting hammered. I thought it was a stupid fucking trade by Mason, and I was letting my opinions be known. And I was
legit thought
wearing
you
a
were
backwards
blasted.
hat because a fine gentleman, I wish I remembered your name. I apologize. He brought me a Jets hat with a salute to service. He said he served for a number of years. We always salute servicemen in Canada because your military is our military. And he gave me a Jets hat. He's like, hey, I thought it was hilarious that you like said you weren't fucking leaving. And I brought you this Jets hat. And I thought that was awesome. So I was wearing the hat backwards because it was fun. But everyone thinks I was like hammered. I had like 2 tequila sodas.
Bro.
It was just really funny that Mason basically made a trade so that there would be a trade video. That's
Bro.
basically what happened. So
You
I was
sounded-
like, you purposely lost a trade so that there would be a trade?
You sounded hammered, though, I will say. Unk was enjoying himself.
No, on the TikTok at my wedding, I was hammered.
I don't know. You
That-
might have been
that one
hammered
I
off a
was
couple
drunk.
tequila shots. You might have a short fuse.
That was a U.S. automaker level bailout. That's crazy. Okay. Do we have 2 quarterbacks? Yes, we do. Okay. You want to go Strange here? We don't have a tight end yet.
Yeah, we can either go with the quarterback or we can go with the tight end. That's your
Let's
call.
go with Strange.
Okay.
I'm cool with Strange there. We're probably going to need to go with some sexless tight ends because we already have 5 RBs and we have some sexless receivers already. This is going to be we have our sexy picks with like Brooks and Genty and those guys. We need some absolute triple condom type tight ends here. I think like nothing would make me happier, Danny, than a Brenton Strange, Hunter Henry, Dalton Schultz trio.
Yeah. I mean, it's stinky, but sometimes you need to smell.
Lightweight core. I wasn't hammered.
I think
Eyes
you
were extremely
though.
dilated. Dude, I was screaming at the
Dude.
top of my lungs, and it was 50 degrees outside.
I think you're
Sorry,
hammered.
fucking
I don't know.
100 degrees Fahrenheit slappies.
Dude, I was chugging back some drinks inside the bar, and then everybody's like, "Oh my god, you have to come out right now." There was just a big trade, and I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck happened?" I come back out to that.
Yeah, I don't know what Mason was thinking there. Busch doesn't get hammered. No, I do dabble occasionally.
Yeah.
My bachelor party, I was fucking absolutely blasted.
Yeah, that was part of it too, was the chat, but obviously that whole stream was
Two
kind of
tequila sodas can get you depending on the pour. That's facts. That's facts. I was drunk with rage. No, I was actually just yelling because it was fun yelling. We want to party with you. I mean, I would love to party with you guys too.
He knows how to get drunk, guys.
Yeah. Who's your favorite gross tight ends? I just mentioned a couple of them. I think Hunter Henry and Dalton Schultz are my favorite too.
Well, Busch knows this, and I'm sure a lot of the chat know this, but
AJ Barner coming.
that's a great pick this year. But basically, when we were down at the Airbnb, I like turned to Mason. I'm like, you remember like one of the first times you brought us on stream? You were at the NFL draft, and me and Corey were, chilling, relaxing on our stream. I had down like 2 bottles of wine on my own and some fucking liquor shots. And Mason's like, "Oh, you want to come on stream?" I'm like, "Is it going to be casual?" This guy's like, "Oh yeah, totally casual. Don't even worry about it." We hop on. How many people were in that stream, Corey? Like fucking 4,000 concurrents.
Yeah, Mason had like so many people in that stream, and then Danny just hops on and he goes, "I wouldn't bat an eye," just plastered.
Dude, the comments were like, "Who invited Unk, bro? Like this guy's going off."
Yeah, you were yapping. Tommy's in the chat right now. He's thank God the footage looked good. My noodle arms were shaking holding that heavy ass camera at that angle. Facts.
Bro, yeah, just when there's a point in holding the camera at the meetup to where it's like they're just fucking around, not gonna get a deal done, and you just get annoyed at some point that they're just chatting. Like
Dude,
it's
me
Sal
and Nathan were
Ro
close,
talking
man.
for 8 straight minutes about fucking Dijon for a bag of chips.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was stupid as fuck.
You guys know that I tried to get active and nobody wanted to make the deals. Like my whole grand scheme was pivoting Genty and Jefferson.
How did you
into
mix
Lamb
in
Walker.
grand scheme into that sentence?
Because I had 2 trades
at the
lined
end of the
up.
day, Bush.
Oh, I thought you were saying in the grand scheme of things, like you always say.
No, my grand scheme was basically somehow flipping the Genty Jefferson turn into getting Walker from Mason and CD from the fucking editing team.
Right. Okay. Do we wanna take Bryce here?
Yeah, we gotta eat our vegetables.
Let's go, Bryce. We're gonna need 3 tight ends as well. I would like to take the sexless TJ Hawkinson if he falls.
Speaking of Tommy, we have come to the agreement that we will co-manage our team in the FSC
Ooh,
league.
there you go.
Yeah, sounds good.
So
yeah.
I'll be there for the first couple picks, but I have to dip at some point.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, brother.
Where are we drafting?
DCA, baby. CMC and CD should not be allowed. What?
You got CMC from Germany was not allowed. Oh yeah, because it's on League Safe. So I mean, the DCA, we've done it where people from Europe have like or like PayPal'd us or whatever. It is much easier when we don't have to do that. I apologize, but I didn't realize the dick cheese was accumulating all the way in Germany there.
Shout out, man.
That's what DCA means, by the way. If you guys are like, what the fuck are you talking about, dick cheese? DCA is Dick Cheese Accumulator. Used to be his name.
The dick cheese has been around for like at least 4 years now, 5 years maybe. It's kind of maturing. It's kind of fermenting.
Yeah, he needs a fucking a raise after holding those cameras up. Mason's on a stream with thousands of viewers in a tuxedo. Mason, it's casual.
Dude,
is Mason live right now?
No, he's pulling up to that stream. He was in like a tuxedo.
Oh yes, he was. Yeah,
it was super serious. Like, so, oh yeah, this is the fantasy.
I would like to take TJ Hawkinson here. I think he's the best tight end on the board.
He's not better than Barner.
He is. I will.
No.
He's AJ Barner sucks donkey ass.
Can't do it. I wait to pick at least.
Fine. We'll wait to pick. Take
okay.
Cyrus Allen, Pat Bryant. Sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Cyrus Allen's fine.
Dang.
Sure.
You have Mahomes, right? Yeah.
No, we do not. That was last draft.
I mix it up sometimes.
We just took a stone 0 in Cyrus Allen. He's going to be completely useless.
He's going to outscore Rasheed.
Who else was available at quarterback other than Bryce? I don't think there was really anybody on the board, but we had McMillan and Brooks already, so we were definitely going with those guys.
The grand scheme contextual heuristics.
At the end of the day, my grand scheme was to capitulate. That's funny.
Respectively.
Oh, respectively.
Let's
respectfully.
Yeah, facts.
Kept mixing those up.
Thoughts on Austin, Texas? Austin's a nice city, man. I like nice. America generally, third best country in North America, but I will say that Austin is definitely one of the better cities we've been to in the U.S. for sure. Also,
bro, fucking people weren't believing me when I said, yeah, my gastro's acting up. I can't eat American food. And people are like, oh, come on, buddy. You're that big for no reason.
Hey, Danny,
it does actually kind of shock me a little bit.
You didn't hit the bathroom one time in the whole 10 hours.
I also I'm shocked that you consume very little calories in a day as well. Like you eat like one meal a day.
I eat like 2, but yeah. You're not wrong.
I think what you do, like the one thing that I don't know about you for sure, but I assume you do this, is you're the type of person who orders food right before they go to bed.
No. What the fuck?
Like I could just tell. You're like, I haven't eaten anything today. It's like 4 p.m. You eat something and then you like order something at like 9:30.
No. Poutine can put on the pounds. Real facts.
Facts. Bush, what games video? This is bait, Nate. Come on. First of all, I don't watch anyone play video games. No offense to people who do, but I think that shit's weird. If you're like sitting on Twitch watching someone else play video games. When I was a kid, my brother used to make me watch him play video games. I couldn't play myself, and that shit was torture. So the fact that people are legitimately choosing to do that is wild to me.
Dude, I feel bad. So sometimes, shout out Lucas if he's watching this. I don't know if he is. My cousin would come, and he's 6 years younger than me.
Okay, well, hold on. Hold that thought. We need to decide on a tight end here.
Greg, third leg.
I mean, Cade, we need to take Cade because we have Baker Mayfield.
Sure, I'm good with that. So my cousin would come over, Corey, and he'd be like, we'd be like waiting to like go watch like something or go play some or play pool or something or whatever the case was, right? So he would come over to go do something with me. And when he would come over, I'd be like in the middle of my Rocket League games or whatever, playing on my PC. And then I'd be like, oh, you'll watch this game. You'll watch the rest of the game, and I'll queue like 4 more, and I'll just fucking start grinding.
Yeah, no, dude, like, you were the worst. I like being people, unless they're the youngest sibling, don't understand the
having to watch
the pain of being like, you're not allowed to hang out with us, or you're not allowed to do this with us, or you have to wait until I'm done with it. Like, I only got to play my brother's Xbox when he was done with it. Like when he was not playing it, and he literally would like turn it off while I was mid game if I was playing it and he wanted to play. He'd be like, all right, time to get off. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of a game. Like, it's TDM. Like, I'm almost done. Like, just give me a second. And he'd be like, nope, leave the game. And I'm like, no, I'll get fucking, like, you used to take a loss in your win-loss ratio or whatever. He would just be like, all right, turn the Xbox off. Like, just fucking completely screw me over.
Damn, he would rage bait the fuck out of you. Holy shit. Dude, sometimes my cousin was watching me play Rocket League, and I was just in the training menu, and it'd be like, let me just hit this mechanic real quick. Let me just,
I know you were just forcing him to watch you do this too. That's the part that pisses me off even more. Like, you were just he doesn't give 2 flying fucks about your stupid jumpy spin move that you did. And you're like, dude, just like watch, I'll get it this time. I swear.
She's trying to leave. I'm like, bro, let me just
give me one more. I got it.
Let me just hit this flip reset double touch one time.
Go Frymuth. He's the best available tight end there.
Go with that.
Someone in the chat shouted that out, and you are a ball knower.
Yeah, that's shout out.
We're watching you play fantasy football. I mean, that's facts. That's also happening, and we're watching the players play actual football.
Maybe we're all in our own different version of a chair.
Yeah, that's facts. Unk triggered. Do you guys make content full time, or do you have 9 to 5s? I am proud to report that I quit my 9 to 5 in 2021, and we've been making content full time since.
And I quit university. What, 2021 or 2022? One of those 2 years.
Yeah, one of those.
One of them.
Penta reset musty double tap psycho. That sounds like a John Gruden play call.
Also, we are all losers at the end of the day. No,
I never said you were a loser for watching people play video games. I just said it's weird to me because it used to be.
I call myself a loser.
Never too late to pull up to the sticks, dude. I could still rip a COD game if I wanted to. Amir has is the new COD you can play like any map now and like any game with any gun. Isn't that like kind of what it is like now?
Well, they have something set. Basically, there's like an extension where you could play like the old games. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So Amir, the commissioner of my home league, who was in our home league draft. By the way, the home league draft.
Corey's fantasy father.
Yes, my fantasy father, who invited me to the league and now claims credit for everything that we do. He had the new COD, and I went to his place to watch the Texans and Raiders preseason game last Thursday or whatever it was. And he's like, yeah, play a game here. And I dabbled a game with COD. I hadn't played COD in like a long, long time. So that was kind of fun. Getting people to watch video games was my career for 4 years. Yeah, I mean, I think it was also Skylar's career for longer than that.
Dude, tell him. Like, he's got to get back on the sticks.
It's far too late, Bush. You can't just get on COD anymore. You have to get on, make sure every single setting is the right setting.
Yeah, no, COD isn't even good now anyway. It's like, realistically.
Then your guns have to be like tweaked to like certain degrees so you get the maximum amount of, that shit's fucked now.
Buddy, push that L2 button. We're holding an iron today.
I can't do it.
Rip another BBM just deposited.
Might have to.
We might have to, because I would like to do another one. However, we do have questions to get.
Oh my god, we got so many teams.
We will rip another BBM, but you guys need to promise to not submit any more questions.
Dude, we got like 10 teams to review it, like 10 questions. Oh,
You'll have like a whole hour and a half.
dude, this could be a 4-hour stream, Corey.
So to be fair, to do some girl math here, one of the team reviews was somebody just submitting a Bitcoin screenshot. So
And you
you
better review that. And you better review that.
Can we review
I want to
his
know when he
portfolio?
was in the market and out of the market.
Dude, did he just like take a screenshot of his Bitcoin portfolio thinking it was his best ball portfolio or something?
Yeah, someone definitely thought your guys' tool was a Bitcoin tool.
Bro,
That's
they're like,
so funny.
what are the thoughts on my projections?
Why the hell we have to load the rankings and reset Spicy? You still got Ricky Pearsall in my rank. It's been a while since you reset those, probably.
Oh shit.
Who do we
up on
want to
the
attack
tool?
on here? We need another receiver. I'd be
Scroll down.
fine with
Scroll down, fuck it.
God,
Scroll
they all
down.
suck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Scroll the fuck down.
Troy.
Nah, bro, he's losing work.
I'd
to
be fine
Pat.
with Surratt.
What about Lance?
No, that's a 0.
Okay.
Scroll up a little bit. I'd be fine with Bateman.
Antonio. It doesn't Bateman have the DV shit going on?
Yeah,
now?
let's go. I'll let you pick. Just go ahead. Pick somebody.
Scroll up. Who we put in Antonio? Oh, that's okay.
Surratt,
Sure.
whatever.
We're good. Ah, spicy. Ah, no, I'm kidding. Nah,
You saw me push him up.
I said it last second.
You have a business degree, right? We need your stock analysis. I don't know jack shit about stocks, brother. My business degree rots in my desk drawer beside
You
me.
want to hear my business advice?
What's that?
Fucking, you should have invested in Nvidia like 2 years ago.
Sure. Fucking college dropout Danny here.
Fucking words of advice, baby. Let's go.
Earn your money like it's a job. I worked 7 hours today. Facts.
Oh,
That could be a thing. I doubt it, brother. I don't think any of those receivers are going to be a thing.
I
I wouldn't
gave
be
up on
shocked if
that.
Michael Mayer's second on that team in targets at excluding Genty and the running backs.
Bro, so that's my whole point, bro. Are we really betting on Tucker or Naylor to be like an 85 plus target option this year?
That's fair, Danny, but by the same token, you need to be higher on Achane then, because you can't have that analysis for Genty and not think Achane's going to have 100 plus targets.
I think there's a big difference in the passing volume with Malik Willis. That's the point.
Except there's no Bowers there, so that makes up the difference.
I don't know, dude. I think Malik Willis might throw the ball like 400 times on the year.
Dude, I'm telling you, Quinn Ewers is going to be starting by Black Friday.
We'll see. Also, this is my other take on best ball so far is this offseason we've really learned if they're going to be basing out of 12 a lot and Brock Bowers is literally going to play basically half of his routes out of the slot.
I've taken 18th round best ball shots on Mayer, dude. I think he's a totally fine 18th round pick to take.
Bro, he had like literally in the last preseason game, 8 or 9 of the snaps out of the 11 with the first team.
Not to mention, if Bowers got hurt, he's usable in redraft.
Yeah. Contingent upside with potential standalone.
We should probably, do we want to do another one?
We got to do some reviews, bro.
We got to do these reviews. I think we got to do these reviews. Unfortunately, I would love to do another one. Let's roll the giveaway though, in case the redraft folks tune us out after this, because we are going to be pivoting over to probably a lot of dynasty talk, but there is a lot of keeper questions and whatnot. So make sure you stick around. Let's roll this. I will pivot to this tab so that you guys can see me do it. All right, everyone who am I not sharing it? Okay, where it is. Add to stage. There we go. We are rolling the giveaway for the free season pass. After the stream is over, we will send this over to BToast32. BToast32, if you are in the chat, please leave us your Flock Fantasy username. It is very important. You put a Flock Fantasy username in the chat. It could be a free account. You can make it right now if you want to. Like it's not a big deal. We'll just we'll send that over to Sammy to grant you that free season pass. We actually physically cannot grant it on our end, but by the end of tonight, you should have it. Just BToast, please put in the chat that you've seen this and you want to put your Flock username in there as well, because otherwise we will have to re-roll the season pass giveaway to somebody else, because if you don't respond, we have no idea how to get in touch with you, because BToast32 is, unless it's your Flock username, I guess I can check that. But I'll let that marinate for a second. If BToast is in the chat, he can let us know. Otherwise, I will roll the giveaway again in like 5 minutes if he hasn't responded, and we'll give it to somebody else if he doesn't respond. But let me just double check if BToast is actually his username. Be toast.
Be toast, baby.
Be toast. I love toast. Toast is great. So let's toast to toast. All right.
Also, I saw somebody say this in the chat earlier about the new 49ers wide receiver. I showed Spicy and Busch that video right before we hopped on the stream.
And I saw
Fucking
it once already, and Danny once was enough, man. I don't really care.
I'm just referencing it because I saw somebody
I
talking
thought
about
for
it in
sure
chat.
you were pulling it up.
No. The Dadster Lanny is hilarious.
The Dadster Lanny.
No, Danny, I saw the tweet while y'all were drafting, and there's like so much more that this guy did that you left out.
Oh, bro, he did some wild shit. That's what what I
Yeah.
told you. He like scammed like 26 women for over $1 million.
That's crazy. All right, BToast32 again, one more time. We're in 5 minutes. We're gonna roll the giveaway again. If you don't put in the chat your Flock username, and if you're making an account, just let us know that you saw this, and then we'll give you a second. Otherwise, we'll roll it again. Anyways, let's get into the question. Spicy, you are free to go, sir. We appreciate you. Obviously, we cannot draft in Ontario, so we draft via Spicy. Oh, nice. There we go. BToast is in the chat. Let us know your Flock username, sir.
BToast, baby.
All right, Ray Lewis swag here. 27 early, mid, late for Cook, Genty, Ladd. So he's giving away 3 1s for James Cook, Genty, Ladd, or get my 27 first back. Own London Tate, Judkins.
So he's asking if he should move the 27 early, first, mid, and late for Cook and Genty, and should he get Ladd or his own?
Oh, his own 27 1 back. I see.
It's hard to say without knowing your squad. But if
London
we're valuing
Tate, Judkins, Hendo, you'd be getting Cook, Genty. Like I think your team would probably be at least a middling level team, give or take. So I would probably prefer Ladd in that situation.
Yeah. So the way I would describe it is if it's a early first, obviously take the first over Ladd. If it's let me ask you, if this is the projected like 103 to 105, would you prefer Ladd or that type of pick?
I'd probably prefer Ladd unless you guaranteed me it was a top 3 pick. To be honest, I think he's worth about even like a mid first on the early end. If it's not too late, then yeah, BToast. Yeah, we'll throw you
we'll get you going.
BToast32. So I'm assuming you use a different code. I will just please make sure that is exactly how it's spelt because I can't see it on my end. But I will DM Sammy that to give you a free season pass, assuming that's the correct username.
Yes, sir.
When you get a chance. All right. I just sent Sammy a DM, BToast. Hopefully you will have access to that whenever he gets a chance to. I don't know if he's still working this late on a Friday, but probably by tomorrow at the latest, you should have access to that. But yeah, Ray Lewis swag, assuming that's a mid first, I would prefer Ladd McConkey, and I would do that deal in general. I think the early one cancels out Genty, the mid, late, etc. cancels out the Ladd and Cook side for me. All right. Jacob Simmons here. 2 keeper PPR, Chase, Genty, AJ Brown, K9, Bowers, Nico at 101. Okay, so you're picking at 101, which is great.
Chase and Genty. He's asking out of those other options who should be his pick. The guy that I have ranked the highest is Mr. Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I have Nico Collins above Kenneth Walker, knowing that you already have Genty and Chase. If you wanted to go Kenneth Walker because you're like, hey, I'm a little stronger at receiver than I am at running back, knowing that Genty's banged up right now, I'd be kind of fine going in either direction. But all of those guys are pretty much in the same tier for me. Like I think Nico's at like 16, Walker's at 18, Bowers at 20, and AJ Brown at 21. Like they're all very close for me in redraft this year.
I'm just a lot higher on Walker than you are, so that's why I will say Walker
for sure. Yeah. Also, I should mention now that we're into these reviews, I'll put the link in the chat one more time. If anybody wants to submit a trade question, a team review, we should get to it today. We have a couple that we're getting through first, but if you want to submit one, I will drop the links one more time in the chat. And another reminder to anybody that has Dynasty Decisions 2.0s that we're getting to today, we will have the 2.0 for you by next week. And anybody that we covered last week should have their 2.0 minus a couple of names that will have theirs by either tonight or tomorrow morning. We should have those all covered for you. So Yankee Pete here. I'm picking at 110 in a 12-man league. That's all he says. Yankee Pete, go watch the 9 to 12 video. That is the advice I have for you, sir. We did an entire draft strategy video on exactly your area of the draft board. The TLDR version of that is we like the double running back strategy from the 110. You could hypothetically start your draft with James Cook, Chase Brown, or Chase Brown, Devon Achane, or whatever the case is. That's the strategy that I'm personally employing if I pick at that area of the board. Yep. If you get a falling CeeDee Lamb or something and you want to take that and go with a running back in the second round, that gives you a little bit more flexibility and balance to take running back and receiver in the third or fourth if you get a falling Javonte or Kyron Williams or something. So that's going to be your strategy. But again, we covered that in depth in the 9 to 12 video. So if you want to go check that out, that's probably your best course of action. Creative Advisor sent a free super message. I didn't even know you could do that. I think I must have granted him one at one point. And he also said the exact same thing. I'm picking at 110 in a 12-man league. We'll copy and paste the same advice. Maybe this was the same person that asked this question. But again, we like double running back start unless a good falling Amon-Ra or CD falls to you. And at receiver in the third and fourth round, you're probably going to have great options, whether it's McConkey, Igbuka, Flowers, T. Higgins falling to you, something like that.
Dude, a part of me wants to like convince myself that it was two different people because like what are the odds that they were just written back to back in the same fashion? Like,
I mean,
same exact words.
They might have been. 2027 Cooper Plattner, Javonte and Luther Burden for AJ Brown and Stephon Diggs. It's a redraft trade. So
give me the right side all day here.
Yeah, I think it's a fair trade, but I think I would prefer the Javonte and Burden side slightly.
Mike, we are extremely high on Waddle. I think Corey has him at like the end of the third or early fourth, and I have him more so as a mid third round pick this year.
Yeah, and Clever Lion too, if you are listening to this, I appreciate you updating me on the price of Bitcoin. However, I feel bad that you spent $67 to do that. So I did grant you a free team review voucher in case you wanted to submit again, because I just find it kind of funny that you did that. But anyways.
So again, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt because truthfully, like we don't know if it was a misclick, but I do believe he definitely did that. Just like, oh, I have a ton of Bitcoin. Let me bless the boys.
Shout out to the bots.
That's what
because like most of the time you see Bitcoin stuff, it's just like AI or a bot or somebody like that. But the bots aren't usually donating $67. So I mean, if the bots want to continue to donate $67, we will not say no to that.
Give me Sedarian all day.
Yeah, I would prefer Lamb and Kyron on that side as well.
Yes, sir.
Pretty straightforward for Preston there. So we'll double back to the reviews. We're gonna go through the trade questions and supers first. Tyson fits my rebuild, but my 2027 second will be 201. So he'd be giving away Brian Thomas Jr. and the 201 for Tyson and a third. I mean, why doesn't Brian Thomas fit your rebuild? He's like the same age as Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah, I'm keeping the 201 and Brian Thomas Jr. there pretty easily.
I don't have Tyson as low as you do, though. But yeah,
I know I'm lower on Tyson, but like at the very least, I think we can call Tyson versus Brian Thomas like a wash.
Yeah, which is why I think that was the side of the deal I like. Gibbs at 104, wide receiver next 3, or running back at 4, then wide receiver 5.
So I mean, if Gibbs is somehow available at the 104, you take him and you don't worry about anything else except for polishing your league trophy at the end of the year.
Even in a super flex, like even if we assume that it was like what Allen, Jackson, and Bijan off the board, like Gibbs is Gibbs. You take.
I have Gibbs at 101 in super flex.
But that's what I mean. It's like that would be the only like validation. It's like, oh, you're in a super flex and those were the top 3 picks.
Yeah.
It's the only
or you're like in a league with Puka Nacua, Jamar Chase, and Bijan Robinson, I guess. I don't know how the hell Gibbs would be available at 104. But yeah, if you're expecting Gibbs to be on the board at 104, I'm going to tell you for free that he won't be, because there's no way he should be going anywhere other than 101 or 102. Unless you're in some kind of crazy league format that super prioritizes wide receivers, there should be no reason he's not going at 101 or 102. So I wouldn't count on that. If that's your primary plan, you're not going to get him.
Yep. 100%.
But if he's there, obviously take him. Emmon Bronx Burglars. Draft from 106. Probably get Puka and no running backs round 2. Should I take Kyron, London, Bowers, or reach on Kyron? So from 106, getting Puka, that is an awesome value, first of all. I would be very comfortable taking Drake London or Nico Collins with my second round pick, as I literally did in the Flock League.
Or Bowers. Now the question is, I'm assuming he's inferring because he says reach on Kyron. If it was like a Ken Walker, that would be one thing.
Or Derrick Henry even.
Yeah, that would be one thing. If you want to take Derrick Henry over those guys, I think that'd be reasonable. But like once you get to like the Kyron range at running back, it's just like you can't really.
I would much rather take Nico or London with my second round pick, because I would take those guys over Bowers personally. And then in the third round, hope that Breece Hall or Kyron or Javonte or even Jeremiah Love potentially would slide to me, because I think you can very easily backfill running backs in rounds 4 and 5 if you get a Swift, an ETN, a Tootin, a Judkins, some of those types of guys. I would much rather plan on doing that than I would reach on Kyron at the 207 or whatever that would be. That's just too early, even though I love Kyron. So yeah, I wouldn't be taking him in the second round. Abusement Park again here says this would be instead of the Brian Thomas Jr. offer. So instead of getting Jordan Tyson for BTJ in 201 or whatever it was, he would instead be giving up George Pickens, getting a late one, Jordan Tyson and Denzel Boston. Now this is a better deal for sure.
I would do that.
This is enough insulation to move off of Pickens for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially you said that you were retooling your team.
Yeah, I mean, getting a 1 and 2 young receivers is a good way to go about that for sure.
I feel like we've done a DD 2.0 for him before, and I think in that 2.0 we said try to get as much liquid capital as he can.
Yeah, for sure. Waiver wire merchant here says 10-team full PPR 106. Is it crazy to draft Amon-Ra over CMC? I usually get a good running back in the second. I mean, if you feel confident that you're going to get Chase Brown or Devon Achane or Amarian Hampton or even Derrick Henry or Kenneth Walker or Saquon, I would feel it's 10-team league, so that's probably why you feel confident in that. I would take Amon-Ra over CMC. I would prefer him if you're risk averse. I'm comfortable taking the risk on CMC, but if you're risk averse and you just want to secure Amon-Ra and not ruin your fantasy season right away, I'm totally fine with that.
Shout out Denzel. I believe he is Abusement Park.
Yeah, shout out. BHumps. We'll get to these team reviews in a second. I don't know how to Bad Renaf. I don't know how to say that. I get Fab and Rashard. Rashard. Who's Rashard? Is it Rashad White that he's talking about?
Reichard.
Will Reichard, the kicker.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm dumb. Kenneth Walker and Loveland for Braylon Allen, St. Brown, and George Kittle. I'm assuming Danny disagrees because he loves Kenneth Walker and Colson Loveland, but
I just want to put these in my ranking so I can give a full perspective, because obviously we're going to differ here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the difference between St. Brown and Walker, the asset, is bigger for me than the difference between Kittle and Loveland, the assets. I know you don't agree with that, but that would be my opinion on it. He also mentions that he gets Fab plus Reichard. I mean, that's not really doing much. Depends how much Fab it is, but if you're already leaning the Walker side, I'm sure you just take the Fab and Reichard.
So, like, full transparency, Braylon Allen is like a dead zero in my head here because it's a redraft league, start 7. Like, we're talking about the cost of a roster spot at this point. So I'm not really factoring Braylon in. I'm looking at the 2 for 2 here. And personally for me, I think the upgrade from Kittle to Loveland is worth it because I have Walker specifically at 13th overall. Now, because there's a larger discrepancy for you, if we took my 17th ranked player and my 6th ranked player and compare them, I would probably agree with what you're saying. However, because there is a closer gap between Walker and Amon-Ra in my rankings, I think the upgrade from Kittle to Loveland, while also getting the insulation with Reichard and the Fab, would be the direction I go.
Yeah, again, we're obviously split on this discussion because of the difference in rating between Walker and Loveland, but I think it's relatively, like, it says you slightly lose by my rankings, but yes, he said 6th. I think it's relatively close. And if you prefer Danny's side, I think that's fair. I think that the difference between Kittle and Amon-Ra is a little closer there.
For reference, I just plugged it in by mine. Like, so again, it's kind of just flipped either way. So I favor it this way. And then for your rankings, if I remove that and add that, you favor it the other way. So
we're of no help to you, unfortunately, because we're completely split.
Yeah.
Literally.
The scribbles, you called it. I mean, at the end of the day here, it depends what side you like better. Sorry. But I mean, it's the truth here, truthfully, Corey. If you are all in on St. Brown and not as high as me on Walker and Loveland, you probably keep your side there. But if you're all in on Loveland and Walker, think, hey, I'm able to get 2 studs for the price of 1 here with St. Brown. I'm worried about Kittle, and I'm able to get some Fab there. I really want the Walker and Loveland side personally. But.
Yeah, it depending on your rankings, I think you could cut that either way for sure.
Good offer.
But yeah, definitely of no help to you, unfortunately, because we were completely split on that. C. Morse here says he's giving away Brooks, Antonio Williams in an early 2 for a 1 and a 2. Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. I know you like Brooks, but this is easy money.
Yeah, I like Brooks, but there's still enough risk, and it's a mid-first in a stack class. Like mid-first next year, if you equated it to Ahmad Hardy, it's like I like Jonathan Brooks, but that risk profile versus a top 40 selected Ahmad Hardy. And again, I'm saying the name Ahmad Hardy. Maybe he's not the name because he's dealing with the gunshot, doesn't have a big gear. Maybe he falls. You could substitute in Jaden Ball or, insert one of those.
Yeah, Kawan Lacey or whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I think that's definitely just a good process move, selling off on the risk there. Lozo here, Travis Etienne and Travis Etienne for Jadarian Price and Jonathan Brooks. Yeah, I'll take Price and Brooks there. I think there's not a small enough gap between Price and Etienne that I'll just pocket the free Brooks there.
Yeah, that's more so if Hardy comes back. Obviously, if Hardy doesn't play, that's gonna really hurt him. But it's really unfortunate.
2 ACL tears versus 1 gunshot move.
Shout out Jaden Ball, go Gators. I mean, that guy is a fucking hoss, dude.
Yeah, that guy's a big dude. D's nuts here for a 14-team league with 2 wide receiver and 1 flex. Where would you draft? So what would be the ideal draft position, I guess, is what he's asking from a 14-man with a 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. I don't want to fall behind at running back, frankly, in a league like this. But
it's probably end of the board, bro.
In a 14-man, you might
you're gonna miss the run.
You might miss the run. Like you could start Hampton Chase Brown at 14th overall and 15th overall. However, I think my answer is still just I'd want the first and second pick.
Okay, yeah. So first and second pick, I agree, because Bijan and Gibbs are going to matter no matter what. Am I crazy to say the 13th pick would be the most ideal? Because
potentially, yeah. Like you could get Chase Brown and Devon Achane with the 13 and the 203 or whatever, 202 it would be. Because I'd be fine with that.
Because if you pick 13th, you would lock in 16th on the wrap. 16th would guarantee you one of those tier running backs. So you get 2 of those. Once you wrap back to that 3-4 turn, probably going to be looking at 2 wide receivers or a wide receiver plus ambiguous backfield piece like a Bashal Tootin probably has your best picks there. So, like, truthfully for me, if you can go with the 2 running backs at that 13-16, wrap back around, maybe you get like T. Higgins plus Jalen Waddle, or maybe T. Higgins off the board. You go to the next tier.
Yeah, like Igbuka and Ladd or something like that.
Wilson. Yeah, Mecca Igbuka, like somebody like that. I think that 4-pack of players is probably as ideal that you can ask for in a 14-man league.
Yeah, so either early in the board or end of the board, but in a 14-man league, I also don't mind being in the middle of the board because then in 14-man leagues, it's hard to be at the turns because you might miss out on runs and whatnot. So I would also be very much comfortable with, picking at 107 and taking, James Cook, or picking at 110 and taking James Cook, and then kind of being a little bit closer to the middle of the board if possible, 109, taking James Cook, something like that. But yeah, definitely an interesting question. Pickens for president here. Tyson versus Thomas, straight up. Rebuild / 1 year reload. Is this the same person that asked this question?
Maybe.
No, it's not. That's crazy.
Just like the
rebuild / 1 year reload. I'm still taking Brian Thomas here.
Yeah, it's probably a fair deal if you're worried about the shoulder. But then again, Tyson's got the hamstring.
Yeah, I'm way more worried about Jordan Tyson's injury history than I am about Brian Thomas's down season and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess the only thing there is if you do pick like a spot like 13, just be prepared that if you do have convictions, you are going to have to draft by your rankings, because I kind of talked about it in the Flock League, but like when there is a 24 pick wraparound to your next pick, you almost can't say, well, this guy usually goes 10 picks later, but he's my highest ranked player. Do I wait the ADP game and hope I get him 10 picks or 14 picks after where his consensus ranking is? It's like, I would rather reach those 10 picks and get the player that I have ranked highest than try to play the game and then he gets sniped 2 or 3 picks before me on the next wrap.
Yeah, which is why I'm actually kind of warming up to more being like the 109, where I could get James Cook in the first round. Maybe I don't get a running back falling to me, but I still grab like a Drake London, and maybe I could get still a Kyron or a Javonte in round 3. Actually, I really like kind of the area of the board. Like, I think other than, I mean, even in my own team, like I might even swap straight up with Zach's team in the Flock League. I think that from the 109, he drafted a very, very good team, in my opinion. Even like the DJ Moore pick, I'm not like super high on DJ Moore. Luther Burden, I'm not super high on, but I like the value that he got on both of those guys. But yeah, to go to Pickens for president's question, I would personally prefer BTJ still, even in a 1 year rebuild / reload. Bev939 here says, I'm drafting 8th overall in an 8-man league. I know I can get Taylor and Cook at the 1-2 turn. Should I go receivers at the 3-4 or go for an RB3? Honestly, in an 8-man league, if Bowers or McBride's there at the 2-3 turn or the 3-4 turn for you, you have to take them, in my opinion, because in an 8-man league, those guys are going to be huge positional advantages, and everybody's going to have good running backs and receivers. So for me, I like the Cook-Taylor start if you want to go with that. I'm not super high on Taylor. I'd rather take Chase Brown. But if you're high on Taylor, that's totally fine. If you want to start your draft Cook and Taylor, I would be really hoping for Bowers or McBride on the 3-4 turn, personally.
And I will say, if this is a full PPR league, I would still take one of the receivers there, like an Amon-Ra or a Lamb or JSN falling.
Yeah.
That is my top 8. However, if this is a half PPR or a standard league, I think you're just best bet taking the 2 running backs.
Yes, and I would imagine it probably is, because 8-man leagues are usually a little bit less likely to be kind of PPRs and that kind of thing. But you got plenty of options. I mean, I keep saying we're going to do a video about 8-man strategy and 10-man strategy. Do you guys really want to see that? Because we probably should make a video like that.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we have mentioned it in our strategy videos, like how to adjust for those leagues.
We have, but I think it was 3 years ago. I made a video. I think it was like seven different league formats. I went through and gave like about a 5-minute spiel on each format, and like 8-mans, 14-mans, that kind of thing was what I talked about. And I feel like that could use a little bit of a refresher. And there's plenty of people out there. Yeah. Like this one, especially, is the one that people are saying they want is a 10-man version of, yeah. So we should probably do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow if I have a chance, because you're doing a video tomorrow. Maybe I could post it in the morning or something.
Going to be dropping my top 5 sleepers, working through that. So Corey, that's actually what I wanted to ask you. So we had talked about doing it through the Flock page, but I guess I'll just spoil this part. The best sleepers in fantasy this year, a lot of them are rookies. And usually that's what it's going to end up being, is a lot of rookies are going to be the sleepers, because either A, you project them into potential opportunity, or B, you think they have the talent to potentially win out in a room, hypothetically. So when I was looking at the demographic of my video, I realized like there are going to be some rookies on there. So do you think it would be best, because obviously there's less value to be had breaking down rookies on the site, because you can't really reference their yards per run in their career, or a stretch of games that they had maybe a year prior. Like obviously you can do that with a lot of the veteran players. You can't do it with the rookie. So I guess from a presentation,
I would still do it. You show the prospects tab as well. Like you could go to the prospect model and show where they ranked in the prospect model as well.
Yeah, 100%. I was just curious, like, what do you think would have more value out of that?
I mean, having a stationary screen where they can't see anything is probably less valuable than them seeing the prospect model grade and seeing where everybody on the site has them ranked, and like some of the stuff that you can see there. I know what you mean, though. Like it would be more valuable if they had tons of game logs to talk about and that kind of thing.
For sure. And again, that is the only spoiler I'll give you to guys, because quite frankly, if you've made it 2 hours into the stream already, you're probably going to be watching that video in depth regardless.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. And sleepers week, Danny will be doing his sleepers on tomorrow. Like you said, I will be doing my breakouts on Sunday. I might, before you do your sleepers, like 11 a.m. or something, drop that, how to make adjustments for the formats, because I do think a lot of people will be drafting this weekend. So that 10-man strategy, 8-man strategy stuff might be standard strategy stuff, might be helpful for people. So I might drop that in the morning if you're cool with that.
Yeah, Joe.
But yeah. We could probably move to the team reviews here. Now, again, if you guys want to submit a team review, we will definitely get to it today. I would prefer, we actually have one more trade question. I would prefer if we didn't have to, because it is 7 p.m. on a Friday night and I want to, live my life a little bit. But anyways, George Pickens for Mike Washington and Emeka Egbuka in a redraft format. This is very easily George Pickens, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got to go with Pickens there. Although I at least understand it if like you had Genty or something, you're making some type of insurance bet there, but I just think the discrepancy between Pickens and Egbuka is a little too rich for me.
Yeah. Also, by the way, if I make that video tomorrow morning, let me know right now in the chat, what formats do you guys want me to cover? These would be the ones that I would want to cover. I'm not going to cover Superflex because we have a whole video on that, but 8-man, 10-man, 14-man, standard, and probably tight end premium. But I could just briefly mention that. What other redraft fantasy formats are people wanting to know about? There's not really anything else I can talk about other than that. I can't talk about keeper leagues because I don't know who's being kept. I can't talk about auction because we don't play auction leagues. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see. I mean, half PPR, 12-man with 2 flex. I mean, that's basically what we talk about most of the time. And we talk about full PPR, 12-man with 2 flex, but you're right. We don't do half PPR. I can maybe talk about half PPR a little bit. It's not a significant change from full PPR, though.
So full transparency, the only thing that half PPR does for me is if I have running backs from receivers in the same tier, it just kind of shuffles up the order of them. Like, for example, if you look at my half PPR rankings, I actually do have Christian McCaffrey ranked at 5th overall. because I think at that point it devalues the prime wide receivers a little bit more versus with the sheer touch volume that McCaffrey is going to get. Now, obviously, McCaffrey is a PPR back. I don't think McCaffrey at the running back position loses or gains value going from PPR to half PPR, but inherently when you have
the
those
receivers are the ones that lose the value.
100%. Like if they all project for, in my opinion, those receivers 110, 120 plus receptions each, at that point, something's got to give in terms of the sheer touches that Christian McCaffrey.
This isn't a bad call. Also, a 3 wide receiver, 2 flex, like a really like a PPR, really heavy wide receiver format is also not a bad call as well. But for what it's worth, by the way, guys, on our draft sheets, you can get our rankings fully customized to that format. Like, let's use that as the example. Full PPR, 3 wide receiver, 2 flex formats. You can see that the receivers get pushed up the draft board a lot more in that format on the draft sheet. So I should mention that if you just want minute changes like that, where it's a 3 wide receiver, 2 flex versus a 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, like we normally talk about, that will reflect itself in the actual draft sheets when you're using them.
And you guys will see in the listener league. And I'm making an assumption because quite frankly, we just have such a sample size of this happening in this league. But it's going to be the most disgusting wide receiver board that we have seen this year. Like outside, like Flock League included, every other draft you've ever seen streamed. Every single year.
We don't know that for sure, though, because we got a couple guys in the league that are, you know, we don't know how Tommy's going to draft and how, Skylar's going to draft and how, I mean, we know AJ drafts, but he'll draft 4 tight ends like he usually does. But
if I can pull it up, can I see previous drafts? I guess I have to go to previous.
It was ugly last year. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Can I see? Oh yeah. Here, let me switch my screen and I get this stupid.
I got it. Last year, this is what the wide receiver board looked like. It was bleak by like Matthew Golden went at the 607. Like that's how bleak it was last year at the wide receiver position. Like Debo, like I took Debo at the 7-11 and I needed a fucking shower after it. I remember I took him and I was like, I got to take him here because receivers are so valuable in this league.
It's so funny how different my team ended up being. Like I ended up with CeeDee Lamb. I ended up with fucking Rashee Rice. I ended up with
so one player on this team that I ended up with by the end of the year?
I don't even know, bro, but I just see like Rashee Rice there, and I know I traded for him from you like right away.
I traded you London as well.
Yeah, you traded me London.
I think I traded
I gave you Jefferson. You gave me London, Rice, and something for Jefferson and something.
Hunter. You
gave me Hunter as well.
Yeah, it was. We made a lot of trades in the listener league last year. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's always one of my favorite streams of the year is us talking about that.
No, it was a good time. Okay. Did Colson Loveland get drafted? Oh yeah, no. Flett. Look at the sharp Flett, Mr. 709, even higher than I took him in the Flock League. Shout out the Loveland.
Colson Loveland. There you go. He wasn't a very good pick though. So
at end of the year, he was in.
Danny, you gotta separate dynasty brain from redraft brain, bro. He was a horrible pick in the 7th round in redraft.
Yeah, 7th round. I mean, to be fair, it was a tight end premium, but yeah, it's a little steep.
Oh, it was a tight end. Oh, we're never doing that again. I'm not even putting that as an option to vote on. We're not doing that.
Corey hates tight ends.
I'm sorry. We overruled. We're not executive order. It's called like America now. Dude. We're not doing tight end premium again. Dude, that was horrible. I hated that.
Dude, when my depth got putrid, I was starting like 3 tight ends in the lineup a week. Like I was starting to be fair.
I kind of stunted on you guys because I drafted a tight end who scored 11 receiving touchdowns in the 13th round of a tight end premium draft. But Goddard.
Oh, right.
No tight end premium. Never again are we making the listener league tight end premium. I fucking hated that.
Dude, for so many weeks last year, I started a combination of like Darren Waller, Michael Mayer, Colby Parkinson. Like I was just rotating the boys.
Yeah, no, fuck. Tight end premium sucks ass. We're never doing that again.
It's kind of fun. I can't lie.
No, it was not. We're not doing that.
It was great.
It wasn't. Great. You drafted Brock Bowers. You're biased.
It's fantastic. Exactly.
No, absolutely not.
It's the best.
Okay. Let's get to these reviews because I don't want to be here for 88 hours here.
And after every review, we will outline the 3 decisions before we go into the next team real quick.
Yes. Shout out to Barry McCockiner is the guy's name.
Quite a name.
All right, so this is the squad. It is a redraft team. Redraft team review. He got a Dynasty Decisions 2.0, unfortunately. Banned Matt. I know this is going to be challenging because you get an automatic you get a voucher for a Dynasty Decisions 2.0 when you sign up for an annual. Just so you guys know, if you sign up for an annual and you use your Dynasty Decisions 2.0 on a redraft team,
Corey,
there's nothing we could do there. We can't give you another voucher.
I mean, I do think there's like context, like where you can outline like some type of maybe pickups to make, like maybe some trade opportunities. Like,
are you suggesting you just do the 2.0 as if it's a redraft team?
Why not?
I mean,
if you okay, so Matt, if you're watching this right now and specify in the DMs, hey, I will use my 2.0 on this team, or hey, I will save my 2.0 for a dynasty team. Let us know. I don't mind.
We should probably explain, because it's redraft season and people might not know. This is what a Dynasty Decisions 2.0 looks like. Arthur's team here as an example. We give you an overview of your team, your starting lineup, your depth, your draft picks, your ranks, the archetype of team that you have, and then your biggest 3 decisions and your action plan. So if you use a Dynasty Decisions 2.0 voucher, which you get for free every year when you buy an annual Mother Flocker with our code on a redraft team, this is specifically meant for dynasty teams. Like the draft picks and the team archetype and that kind of thing would just be listed as NA most likely if we were doing this for a redraft team. And we would just give you decisions based on redraft. We can do that. It is generally a dynasty product, though, just so you guys know if you use your DD 2.0 voucher for it.
And Arthur knows how hard I was trying literally the night that Genty got announced as out. So I believe that league is the one that we just drafted this offseason. I'm trying to remember. Was it Flock Me Sideways or Meet the Flockers? It was one of those two.
I'm not sure.
It was the one that me, you, and YWL, I think, are all in the tank off.
That's Flock Me Sideways, I believe.
Flock Me Sideways. We're all in the tank off, and I offered Arthur, I'm like, hey, listen, if you want to maneuver Genty into Hampton, give me a small premium because he's out for the year and we could talk. But obviously, that out for the year talk lasted about 4 hours, which is just enough for me and Mason to hop on a trade call.
There you go. All right. Ban Matt here. Again, we'll send you a message on Flock. We'll do this for you if you want it as a redraft Dynasty Decisions 2.0, a redraft Decisions 2.0, I guess is what it would be called. But yeah, just let us know, because I'm sure a lot of people this time of year just don't know what the product is. So that's why I wanted to.
There's a lot of valuable guys on the wire, by the way.
Yeah, lots of valuable guys on the wire. I mean, he has not really a ton of guys that I would drop necessarily. Like, I'd be fine dropping Chris Rodriguez for Travis Hunter. But other than that, I think he's probably, I mean, you could drop Tank Bigsby if you wanted to, but he's kind of weaker at running back, so I don't mind holding Tank Bigsby there. But yeah, I would drop Chris Rodriguez for Travis Hunter in this situation. Looking at the team, I mean, you got Lamb, Rice, Godwin, Washington, Addison. You're pretty strong at receiver. Even Reed and Coker are good depth. Genty, ETN's a little weaker than you'd want to be, but you have an advantage at quarterback. And you do have, like I said, as good of a receiver core as you can get. The biggest weaknesses are obviously right now Genty is injured, and also your tight end position is sketchy with just Brenton Strange. This team actually kind of reminds me a little bit of Sal's in the Flock League, because he has Brenton Strange and like Jaden Daniels as his quarterbacks there. What would you be looking to do if you were in his situation? Would you be trying to trade for a tight end? Would you be trying to trade for a running back?
I have an idea here. Can we take ETN and either Washington or Addison or something, and then see if we can really upgrade RB2? Because Genty might start the year slow. You can always have a free pickup if you can make a consolidation deal. I'm curious if somebody's strong at the running back position.
This guy's strong at running back, a little weaker at wide receiver. Maybe you could talk this guy into ETN plus
who's like the number 12, 11, or 10 receiver cores? I'm curious.
Somebody
that could like just use a body.
This guy's got Harrison and Evans. I mean, maybe you could see how much on top of ETN would take to get to Derrick Henry or Barkley. If you could go ETN plus Godwin for Barkley or Henry, I'd be probably willing to do that.
Do you think ETN plus like say this league likes Parker Washington? You think ETN plus Parker Washington can get you Barkley?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I think you'd have to throw in Godwin to even get the guy to listen to you, to be honest. This guy's dealing with a Jacobs injury. I mean,
wait, you don't have Washington over Godwin?
No, I have Godwin over Washington.
Well, I have Washington higher for sure.
This guy's a little weaker at receiver depth as well, because Mekhi Lemon and Golden and stuff are pretty unproven. Like, you could maybe talk this guy into ETN plus Godwin or Washington for Walker.
That would be a really good pivot too. Basically, if you can make that type of consolidation move, get another running back. Obviously, Genty's going to be out for a little bit potentially. Might miss week 1.
This guy's got a Raiders logo as his thing. I would not be opposed to trying to trade him, Genty, also.
Yeah, I mean, can you get... Would you move something like...
What I was going to say is, could you move... Let's get creative here. Hold on. Could you move Rico Dowdle, Ashton Genty, and
Jordan Addison. For
Rasheed
Walker and Tuden.
Rasheed Rice. Rico, Genty, Rasheed for Jefferson and Walker.
You could try to.
That would be my trade-off or proposal to him, because you're getting a better receiver from Rice to Jefferson. You're getting healthier at running back from Genty to Walker. And, you're giving him just a depth piece essentially to do it.
Yeah, we'll see if he does that. It might be a little tougher. What I thought you were going to say is maybe Genty and a piece for Walker and Tuden. Maybe could make sense.
I mean, he has Scatteroo too, so he is probably.
And he's got Washington.
And he's got Washington as well. Yeah, I mean, you could probably talk this guy into Genty plus Godwin for Tuten and Walker potentially. Maybe you have to throw in something else to get that done, but I would definitely explore that. And it's possible that this is like a lot of Raiders fans as well.
Wait, real quick to do. So you said what? Genty, Etienne, and Rice for Jefferson and Walker.
I said Genty, Rice, and Godwin for Jefferson and Walker.
So I doubt that would get it, but I actually think Genty, Etienne, and Rice might get it for Walker and Jefferson.
He might even throw in Tuten on top of that if you threw in another piece. Like you could do a 4 for 3. You could do Genty, Etienne, Rice, Godwin for Walker, Tuten, and Jefferson.
Yeah, definitely try. Also 40+ yards in one drive. I guess the Falcons are playing right now. Shout out Kyle Pitts. That's what I would explore with this team. Realistically, I think you have a good receiver core. Obviously, a lot of depth there you can consolidate with. You're set at the quarterback position. And I will say,
you could make a move for one of these. This guy has 3 tight ends. Fannin and Jawan Johnson, in my opinion, would both be upgrades to Brenton Strange. So I would be comfortable doing a 2-for-1 deal where you get Fannin and then you open up an extra roster spot and you could just pick up Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Like hypothetically, what if you offered this guy Jaden Reed and, Tank Bigsby for Harold Fannin, and then you just go pick up Travis Hunter after you make a move like that?
Yeah. There's a bunch of options on the waivers too. Hunter, Boston, Lane, Coleman. Like you got a lot of options there to the point where I think a consolidation move would be your best interest, knowing that there's just so much free depth available with that extra roster spot you'd gain.
Yeah, for sure. So Band Matt, one more time, I'm just going to message you privately after this gets sent out. If you want us to do a redraft decisions 2.0 for you, we'll do it. But just so you know, you did submit for a Dynasty Decisions 2.0 when you submitted this voucher. But if you're like, hey, don't worry about it, it's just a redraft team, I don't need a redraft 2.0, just let us know in the DMs, but we'll do it if you want it.
Yep, for sure.
BHumps here, my humps, number 1. Crazy fucking names. This is a Dynasty team here. So BHumps, lots of quarterbacks. Holy cow.
He's cooking.
Jeremiah Love, Henderson, Javonte, Jordan Mason, Rico Dowdle, pretty strong running back core. Jefferson, Smith and Jigba, Rice, Pickens, McConkey. Like that's a loaded 5-stack of receivers. And he's got 3 of the top 5 tight ends in my Dynasty rankings with Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren, and Harold Fannin. And this is a tight end premium, so those guys should fetch a pretty penny on the open market if you're able to sell them. Or, I mean, you can even just use them in your flex at some point with this team. I mean, I think it stands out pretty obviously to me that his weakness right now is running back producers outside of Jeremiah Love and Javonte. He doesn't have like a ton of guys that project to be like RB1s. And he has 3 tight ends that all have value. So my first piece of advice, like decision number 1 for me would be, who do I have a biter taker on Loveland, Warren, or Fannin? Whatever guy I can sell, I would sell, to be honest, because it might be challenging to sell any of these guys. So if somebody's really into Loveland, even though he's the best of the group, I'd be fine selling him for an equivalently valued running back or receiver. If somebody's really into Warren, I'd be fine selling him for an equivalently valued running back or receiver, and so on.
Yeah, there's a little bigger gap, obviously, between those two in my rankings. Like you have them 32 and 43. Like there's a wider discrepancy for me. But I will acknowledge, like, it just really depends on the relative running back that you can get back. Like for Warren, I think like a James Cook type, maybe a little bit Walker plus, Jonathan Taylor plus, something along those lines would make sense. If you're going to be looking at a guy like Colston Loveland, like I would basically need Genty, Love, Omarion Hampton, someone in that type of caliber. And obviously I don't expect to be able to get that straight up for Loveland, but at least be able to get into the ballpark.
Yeah, there's like it's pretty obvious that like you don't need those 3 tight ends. So you're looking towards potentially moving off of one of them, Fannin probably being the most obvious one that I would move off of just because he may have peaked in market value just because they added 2 receivers in the draft. But Warren is also heavily valuable, and whatever you can do to upgrade your running back core is what I would be looking to do. So I would go to this guy's team right here who has a Rondé Gadsden and Dalton Schultz and seeing how close Tyler Warren or Colson Loveland gets me to James Cook, for example. How close
that would make sense.
Even Loveland plus could get you to Lamb potentially. Like there's guys on this guy's team that you could maybe convince him, hey, you're already set at receiver. If I give you Tyler Warren, would you give me Devontae Smith plus or something like that?
Yeah, I think something like that would make sense. So in terms of a 3 decision type of outline here, if we go back to his team, I think that would make sense. Leverage one of the tight ends, whether it's Loveland, Warren, Fannin. I personally would prefer to move Warren or Fannin, knowing that I do have Loveland ranked higher than you. And also just, I think with this type of team as a juggernaut, having that elite axis of a ceiling of a guy that I think can go toe-to-toe with McBride and Bowers, just from a pure production perspective is going to help you. But also that just really depends on what you can get available on the other end. Because like I said, a Genty, Love, Hampton type at running back, I'd be willing to move Loveland. We go down to Warren, James Cook, somebody along those lines, wouldn't feel too bad. For Harold Fannin, I'm curious, what type of running back would you need? Like probably someone along the lines of like a McCaffrey or Barkley?
Yeah. This is another guy that you could maybe go after Hampton because he doesn't have a lot of pieces, period. And maybe he wants the young tight end over the young running back. I'm just trying to find a guy that's like equivalently valued to Fannin in my rankings here. Whoops.
Jared, was there negative news about a player on my team or something?
I think he just means the whole situation probably with
Genty?
Jefferson potentially and Genty.
Oh, makes sense. Okay. I wasn't sure if like I was scrolling on Twitter.
Bucky is a good example of somebody that's about equivalently valued for Harold Fannin.
Yeah, Bucky would make sense too. Obviously, if you can completely prioritize getting like just straight points.
Tootin?
Well, I was gonna say like McCaffrey and Barkley would be the most ideal for your specific situation because you have the asset value. Also, I said the name Jeremiah Love. You have Jeremiah Love, so Hampton Genty would be the 2 if you move Loveland.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And again, running back points, like you said, are definitely an option for him. McCaffrey, Barkley, etc. I would be totally fine taking the risk on like a Bucky Irving or going after a Kyron Williams or somebody like that as well. I think he's fine at QB3 because he has Brissett and Beck. I think he's going to have usable QB3 production if he needs it. Goff and Caleb are going to be kind of your every week starters there. But I suppose given the liquidity he's built up, if somehow there were a deal available to him where you could trade like Jared Goff plus Tyler Warren to get like a younger quarterback with more upside, like, Bo Nix or Brock Purdy or Trevor Lawrence, like you could always take Goff plus one of the tight ends and go upgrade at quarterback too as well if you really wanted to. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moves that you can make with this team. You're a juggernaut for a reason. You're number 1 in the analyzer for a reason. So he said, what moves should I make to look to improve ad assets for the future? I think we kind of discussed a lot of the moves that we would be looking to make there.
So we mentioned decision number 1. Decision number 2, I'm assuming would be
upgrade running back 2 is a running back production or running back value accumulation as well. And then maybe upgrade his QB2 from Goff would be like decision 3 for me.
Okay. So in terms of the second decision there with the running backs, like if we're not leveraging tight end, how else are we going to leverage it? I would probably say at that point, one of Rice, Pickens, or McConkey would be expendable if you wanted to.
Yeah, I would use Pickens personally myself. That would be the guy that I would use because I think he's at peak market value for a lot of people.
Would you take a guy like George Pickens, attach him to Trevion Henderson, and try to see if you can get
like Amari and Hampton for that or something like that? Yeah,
Amari and Hampton, or maybe if it's still like, oh, you can't make an up tier, but you can get a similar running back to value to Pickens and then get more of a production style type of running back.
Yeah, like if somebody gave me Amari and Hampton and DJ Moore in a second for George Pickens and Trevion Henderson, I think that would be kind of something I would be willing to do. But I think we pretty much covered it. Let's roll into.
And I will say this because Arthur has called me the Bo Nix hater before. The volume of this offense and in terms of what I'm hearing out of this fucking Broncos camp, like I truly think both Jalen Waddle and Bo Nix might be going to the moon. And you mentioned it initially, but like,
yeah, they are my guys. For sure.
Like we could talk about all the system.
Kind of annoys me that you're higher on him now.
Well, like we could talk about all the system from a real life football perspective, but from a fantasy football perspective, we can't really ding him for it. Like we can say Brock Purdy is a better fantasy quarterback than he is like a top 3 to 5 NFL quarterback, but he was a top 5 fantasy quarterback last year. Like, we can debate all we want where he ranks in real life. Just like Bo Nix could be a top 8 quarterback in points per game this year, and people will still be arguing whether or not he's a top 12 quarterback. It's like both can be true, where he doesn't have to be a top 12 in real life quarterback, but he's in an ideal situation to score a ton of fantasy points. And that's realistically what we need to be prioritizing anyway.
Yeah, he's in an ideal situation. He has a great offensive line. He just got a number 1 receiver added. He came out in my projections higher than Dak Prescott, higher than Caleb Williams, higher than Jaden Daniels. Like, I think Bo Nix is very, very underrated, which is why I took him in the 13th round of the Flock League draft to pair with Justin Herbert, because I think that both of those guys, when I think about it this way, Danny, playing the best matchup every week between Herbert and Bo Nix, to me, might end up being a 25 point per game quarterback in 6 point per passing touchdown leagues. Like, I might have just as much of an advantage as the devs who drafted Josh Allen.
Yeah, and that's why we're so bullish on, like, we thought about punting another pick, but there was no wide receiver we could have validated over Caleb Williams. And if he does take that step as a passer, and we know we're getting a rushing floor, that's kind of what we felt when we took him at the 801. But you're right. Like, I do think playing matchups, especially for 2 offenses that you feel cozy about, obviously going to be able to work out. And Dylan, I agree with you. I think Brock Purdy's a better in real life quarterback, but I do think it's a full debate on who's better in fantasy because of all the injuries with the 49ers right now.
Yeah. And that's also why I took Pittman where I did, is because I was like, yeah, I could take Drake May here or Jaden Daniels here or whatever, but I was like, screw it. I'm going to take the receiver that I want to take because I know I'm going to get Justin Herbert or the 10th or 11th round, which is why I did that. Because I would have been comfortable taking Herbert where I took Pittman at 609. That's how highly I view Herbert this year in a 6 point per passing touchdown league.
Yeah, like for reference, I actually just moved it just because I'm more worried about Evans's injury right now. I still think it's relatively volatile in terms of the efficiency drop off for McCaffrey, Kittle coming off the Achilles. Like, I think there's just more question marks there. That
I'm at 13 right now. I actually have Jared Goff ahead of Brock Purdy.
Yeah, and again, I still like Purdy a lot. I just think the reason why I had Nix lower in that tier earlier in the offseason was the concern about the ankle injury, but it also sounds like he's fully recovered from that based on the reports.
Nix is my QB. He's been a top 9 quarterback for me this entire offseason. Like, I've been this close to putting him ahead of Jaden Daniels, dead ass. Like, I am so close to doing, and I've been close many times.
Yeah, I have him ranked at quarterback 11. So, like, I'm on the same page there.
And yes, Jared, the season pass is $34 with code FSE still. No, you can't do that. I can, actually. Bo Nix has outscored Brock Purdy as a rookie and a second-year quarterback that what Brock Purdy did when in his rookie year and second year, and he just got Jalen Waddle added to his team.
Well, that's the thing. So, Dylan, like, this is the whole argument that we've had with Dak, me and you, is that you constantly point at the numbers when we're talking about real life versus fantasy. Like,
Purdy's a great quarterback, man. He's a quarterback. He's very reliable. Yeah,
I think the narrative has completely
J-Mo, Amon-Ra, and Sam Laporta to throw to with the easiest schedule in football.
Well, yeah, and like, again, like, I like Purdy a lot, and I think honestly the narrative's kind of completely flipped on him, where 2 years ago I thought he was a much better fantasy football quarterback than he was real life quarterback. I think the narrative flipped the other way, where, like, I think he's actually better in real life standing than maybe the fantasy, just because of the concerns with the insulation of that situation right now.
Yeah. No, I like Purdy. I don't think he's going to have his best fantasy season this year with the way that things are stacking up in San Francisco, personally.
Yeah.
I agree, Arthur. I have Goff over Purdy in fantasy this year.
And I will say real briefly too, I am curious, like, how the 49ers dynamic does work. Do you have any more insights on that defense? Because obviously last year the 49ers defense was completely decimated by injury.
True. Me?
Like, no. I'm saying Dylan, just in terms of the 49ers played in how many shootout scripts at the end of last year?
Lots.
A lot.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it rolling here so we can get out of here in the next 30 minutes or so.
We outlined the 3 decisions for BHumps, right?
Yeah, we've already done that. Well, long done.
Perfect.
Ralph here has a Thanos, so this ought to be pretty simple. Easy. He's got some of the best assets in Dynasty: Allen, Lawrence, Genty, Neighbors, Bowers, Loveland. I mean, your only job at this point in time is, he said, wondering what direction to go with this team, considering trading Loveland for the best offer.
So let me get this off my chest. If that's your best Loveland offer, keep Loveland and trade Bowers, because I'm sure you're not getting Fugaze like that offered for Bowers.
Yeah, that's a good point. If no one's going to give you jack shit for Colston Loveland, you should probably just kind of take the insulation you're going to get by trading Bowers, like you said. If somebody's willing to give you like Bowers plus a second gets you Jahmyr Gibbs or something, like I would much rather, go trade Bowers than trade Loveland on the low for Sadiq and Odunze in a 2.
And again, like you've already collected so much value. I understand, like on face value at 27-1, Burden and Price is a very good package for Genty, but like you have value. Genty to your team, like you could start winning some serious money with this team. You move Bowers for a legitimate running back. Maybe it's like you move Bowers in a 1 and you get like a Bijan or a Gibbs, or maybe you get a Jeremiah Love plus a big running back.
You get Hampton straight for him or something like that.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of options there. To answer your question, like I've always been the scared to compete guy. Oh, like maybe if it's competitive, maybe like just wait a year and take your capital. Dude, this is not a team where I'm actually looking to capitalize and take rookies with those 27 firsts. Go get aggressive, man. Look at all those pergs. Look at all those fucking.
He's got both of these guys ones. Thomas, this guy's, and this guy's down here.
Yeah,
these
like
are the 2 ones he has. I mean, this guy's team is a house of cards, bro. McCaffrey goes down, and this thing's fucking a high pick. So it doesn't look like there's a single like pipsqueak in this league. There's no teams that are absolute dog shit, but you do have the 2 lowest valued teams in the league. By contending value, I'd imagine they're probably higher. Like this guy's 9th and this guy's 6th, but their teams are a house of cards waiting to happen. So yeah, I would be comfortable cashing in if you can. But that being said, I would also be comfortable being patient if you have to. Like, because Genty's banged up right now and Neighbors is coming off of an injury, I don't think I wouldn't personally do what Spicy Taco in the chat is telling you to do. I wouldn't trade for Christian McCaffrey with a team like this. I want to collect young assets. Hunting. I want to sell Bowers for Hampton. I want to go after guys that have long-term value and turn this thing into a multi-year contender.
Can you show me both the Gibbs and the Bijan teams and where their state is in terms of value? Because I know we can make potentially a compelling Bowers deal. Like this guy's got Kincaid. If you said, hey, listen, I will give you Bowers.
He's not going to trade Gibbs with Gibbs
he's
and
in
Barkley.
Window.
That's the hard thing with Bowers is that you got to have like the perfect team environment where someone would actually trade for.
Yeah, like this guy's got Warren and no.
This guy's got Warren and Pitts. Like let's see where Hampton is. This guy has Walker and like Fannin already. Like I can't imagine. Like here's the thing too. This is a half tight end premium, and based on your expectations of Loveland and what we already know Bowers is, you could just start both these guys every single week. It doesn't really matter. Like
that's actually a very good point.
Brock Bowers is going to average 20 points per game in this format. Colston Loveland is going to average 16, 17 points per game in this format. So I would be totally comfortable like just holding those guys unless you're getting appropriate value in return. Like Bowers should be going for Hampton straight. Loveland should be going for Achane straight. You know what I mean? Like
we'll outline that because that will be one decision for sure. If you can move Bowers for that type of running back, I absolutely would, or Loveland for that matter. But judging from the offer that you currently have on the table, saying that it's your best one, I definitely wouldn't move Loveland if that's what you're being offered. Decision number 2. I mean, realistically, I think decisions 2 and 3 are just going to be trying to acquire as many points as you can at running back and receiver. Your quarterbacks are set. Your tight ends are set. This is what, a start 7 or a start 8, maybe? No, it's a
it is a start 10.
Start 10. So at that point, if you're looking at Allen Lawrence / Love in your starting lineup, that's 2 guys. Genty in your starting lineup 3. Neighbors in your starting lineup 4. Bowers and Loveland 5, 6. Garrett Wilson's going to be 7. You still need, in my opinion, 3 starters.
Yeah, and also like Genty coming off an ankle injury, Neighbors coming off a torn ACL, Hunter being your wide receiver 3. Like I just frankly don't think that this is the type of team I would shove.
I agree. No,
I wouldn't shove this team personally. I would wait and see how my team's performing early on. Maybe I'll do one move, like get one running back upgrade for a young guy that I can build around, and then if that works out, then continue to shove or continue to make moves. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't throw everything at the wall with this thing.
If this was a Thanos that also ranked like top 2 or 3 in contending, that'd be one thing. But we also have to consider, and I guess he is technically. I don't know how that ends up happening because
it's because in Superflex it's pulling in Josh Allen's the 101 and Bowers is as high as he has a lot of high end assets. He just doesn't have much depth behind it.
So let me be perfectly clear, because I think the fragility of his assets is kind of the point. as to why we don't feel as comfortable with it. Neighbors is coming off the knee injury. There's still risk there. Genty's coming off the ankle sprain. There's still risk there. We already outlined, even including those guys, you only get to 7 of the 10 starting lineup guys that we'd feel confident in, unless you're saying that Downs or Worthy or Cyrus Allen or Caleb Douglas or Tyrone Tracy or Chris Rodriguez, one of those guys ends up emerging into a full-time starter. You're still at least 3 starters away, up to 5 starters away if Genty and Neighbors aren't truly ready to be difference makers. Right
yeah. And again, if this team, like, by week 4 or week 5 is like 0-1 or 0-4 or something like that, you can always just lean on the fact that you're going to have 3 potential early firsts in 2027. And that's when you shove your chips in. You either draft those rookies, you sell those picks for players, etc. I think this team is a year away personally. I don't think I would shove the chips in on this thing.
Yeah, we kind of, I guess, convinced ourselves otherwise. I said as a Thanos, like, you would want to convince, shove your chips in, but knowing that there's a lot of fragility, and this is the type of league market where you're not going to get offered nearly as much for those firsts as I initially anticipated once we looked through their teams. Kind of feels counterintuitive because obviously we started with an initial narrative when we first started looking at the team, but kind of convinced myself that maybe waiting 1 year is actually a better approach here.
Yeah, I'd be fine making one move. Like I said, like if somebody like who thinks they can't compete or something is like, hey, I'm going to sell Ladd McConkey, or I'm going to sell, Jared. Like if this guy's like, hey, I want my first back, and you can convince him to sell you Jeremiah Love in part of the deal or something like that, because he's, tearing it down. That's one thing. But for me, with the team in the current state that it's in, it would take at least one more significant running back addition and probably a competitive receiver for me to think you could actually win the championship in year 1.
Yeah, I'm on the same page there.
But yeah, we'll cover more in the Dynasty Decisions 2.0, but I would say a lot of what I would be looking to do is selling off Jordan Love, potentially maybe tearing down into a better quarterback 3 type, because you're never going to bench Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence. And then maybe seeing if you can sell one of the tight ends, maybe seeing if you can acquire a young upside Hampton type guy on the cheap, or at least just for proper market value. And then maybe waiting and seeing beyond that point, because again, if you want to compete, you're going to have to transition everybody that's young, like Worthy and Hunter and Antonio Williams, all those types of guys, into competitive guys. And I just wouldn't probably go in that direction, because your team is clearly young. It's clearly a team that's growing together. And if you add more young players to it, it'll get better.
Which we wouldn't fault you, because again, some people are just inherently less patient than we are.
We're scared to compete over here.
Some people will see Thanos and see the value you've accumulated and think, oh my God, I can easily get some contending equity to be able to do it now.
Yeah, I guess this is a good point too. Like if Jeremiah Love starts out the year slow and that guy is like, oh God, I'm fucking 1-5, I'm going to lose this league, and he wants his first back at that point, maybe you can sell him as 1 straight for Jeremiah Love.
Well, that's exactly the point here, is like you have the liquidity built up. You're kind of 3 to 5 starters away anyways right now. You spend those picks, you get just up to basically a starting lineup, maybe 1 or 2 depth pieces past. Or if you're not so hard pressed on winning money this year and you want to say, hey, I'm willing to give myself a year to relax, pounce on any more value that ends up appreciating, like you said, a Jeremiah Love, or maybe Chase goes down at some point of the year, you could buy him. Or I didn't want to name drop, by the way, just Jamar Chase. I just referenced it.
Sorry, Zufa.
No, I just referenced that because like the clip was on my mind from him running down the field. But like a caliber of player like that. So again, knock on wood. Sorry, Jamar. Didn't mean to reference you.
Sorry, Zufa.
But
Jamar's going down.
But anybody like of a big time value tier that is a needle mover for a lot of people, if you have any type of 80%, 90% buy on the dollar type of prices, take advantage.
Yeah, good idea. So
can you read chat or something for a second? I quickly got to go to the washroom.
Okay, yep, go nuts.
Okay, you got me? Okay, bet.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so while we are tinkering around here, we got 4 reviews on deck. We have LawStash up next. Let me just double check. Is this a 2.0? It is not a 2.0, so we'll get into that in a second. Anybody got any questions in the chat? We got Sick with it. We're not feeling Warren at the 501. No, that's too early in redraft. If that's a dynasty league, that's a different story, but in redraft, that's too early. If you had Dobbins, would you get Coleman too? I'm not really in the business of handcuffing my own running backs, but in the sense that you would be basically going after the primary ball carrier of the Denver Broncos, however that ends up working out, I think is fine. However, I also kind of like the idea of taking my shot and that being the bet that I make. Like if you take J.K. Dobbins in the 8th round, you don't want like Jonah Coleman to win the backfield. Like if you think Jonah Coleman's going to win the backfield, you should just not draft J.K. Dobbins and draft Jonah Coleman instead and use your 8th round pick on something else. But if you're like, hey, I love the Broncos backfield this year, I want to take 2 shots, I don't think that's outrageous. I just probably wouldn't do it for the most part. Y'all worried about Jane Daniels because of the O-line in the comments about it? Yeah, I've been worried about Jane Daniels for a while, to be honest. I'm very worried about the Commanders' offense as a whole. I'd also try and get another top 5 quarterback like Daniels or May with Trevor Lawrence, another asset. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I've picked 13 in my first 16 team next. Any advice? I mean, 16 team is rough because, obviously depth is just going to be so hard to find. My advice, if you guys are drafting in 14 and 16 man leagues, my advice would be to take known quantities. Take players that are not risky. Watch the video I did earlier today, the safest players and riskiest players. And I would draft a lot of those safer players as opposed to the risky guys, because in a 16-man league or a 14-man league, if you miss on one of your picks, you're just so screwed. You're so effing screwed. You want to try and make sure you build a strong foundation in any kind of league format, but especially in a 14 or a 16-man league, you want to have St. Browns. You want to have Chase Browns. You want to have James Cooks. You want to have, Nico Collins, guys that what you're getting, because you could have the opportunity to swing for upside later. And a lot of your league mates are going to take risky players in the first couple rounds and screw the pooch on their teams. If I submit a team review, you think it'll be reviewed this stream? We'll review it. I mean, transparently, it's Friday night. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing something tonight. But if you submit a team review, we're obviously going to get to it for you. What about advice for drafting in 8 or 10 man leagues? I'm going to do this video tomorrow, guys. We've had so many questions about this. How to draft in 8 and 10 man leagues, how to draft in 14 and 16 man leagues, how to draft in standard, how to draft in half PPR, how to draft in a 3 wide receiver, 2 flex format that's full PPR. I'm going to do that video because a lot of people are asking about it. I'm basically, let me know what you guys think of this idea, if you think it's a good idea or not. What I was planning to do is go through, find some data on, the top scores in a standard and, how things change and that kind of thing. And then kind of go through my strategy and standard and how it would change, what I think are the optimal tier list strategies, what I think are the optimal draft positions. Maybe I could show the draft tier list rankings that we did when we tier listed the best draft slots. Like I could be like, instead of doing where's the best spot to draft from 101 through 112 for like general, like we did already, I could go, where's the best spot to draft from in a 14-man league, 101 to 114? Where's the best spot to draft from, 101 to 112 in a standard league, whatever the case is. I could definitely do that for each of the positions, or I could kind of just go through general strategy tips and how things change. Just let me know what you guys think of that. Probably only be like a 20 or 25 minute video, but I do think it's important that we address some of those changes. And of course, the draft sheets do that on the site. How do you draft drunk? You don't, fellas. That was the honorable mention of the video yesterday. You don't draft drunk. You crack your first drink on when you're concluding the money rounds of your fantasy drafts. If you can't wait till round 10 until you have your first drink, you got a problem, fellas. So wait till you've drafted the majority of your team and then crack your first drink. Because you know what? It's more fun to get hammered every Sunday watching an awesome fantasy team than it is to ruin your fantasy team at the draft. And you guys saw in action my friend Calvin last year in my home league literally get hammered so hard that he like reached on Joe Burrow and George Kittle and ended up drafting like a shitty team as a result of that. That is why you don't draft drunk, for sure. But let's see here. Let's go Danny being not there. Busch crushing it as always. Yeah, Danny is taking a fucking mean one at this point in time. He's going to crap his pants, so he left the stream for me. I'll start to go through this team, and then he can catch up when he gets. How about high? Oh, there he is. He's back. How about high? Yeah, we don't draft teams high either. We want clear, sober minds when we draft our fantasy football teams, ladies and gentlemen. Save your drinking and save your weed until after the draft. You celebrate your draft after. You do not draft drunk or draft high.
Oh, I forgot my bandana in the other room. That's
fine. People can see the hairline for once. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, God, he's going to go get it anyways. Oh, man. I think it's hilarious to me that Danny started doing this whole bandana thing like 7 years ago when we started the channel. And I didn't even notice he always wore a bandana on our streams. And it's like an issue if he doesn't have his bandana. Like he had a full-on crash out in Texas the one year when he like lost one of them. So that's always fun. Boo, drink while you draft. It's more fun. I mean, it definitely is more fun. But
Let me get this off my chest. It all depends how it affects you. If you are a belligerent junk and you cannot focus and you cannot do any of that, that's one thing. If you genuinely like living in the moment,
brother, it impairs your judgment scientifically. You should not.
disagree.
You should get drunk every Sunday while watching your awesome fantasy team, not during the fantasy draft.
It takes pressure off of the pick. It does.
Okay, if you're a heavyweight and you want to crack one drink during the draft and then get hammered after the draft is over, go nuts. But you should not get hammered during your fantasy draft. Please don't.
Yeah, correct. Don't just get hammered. Also, partake in whatever activity that you so choose.
Of course, but I'm telling you guys, if you want to enjoy your fantasy season, don't get drunk during your fantasy draft.
I don't know, man. I've won leagues before where I've drank during our draft.
Yeah, you play with tacos, brother.
Come on.
I mean, some of your friends are literal posts.
I beat you.
When?
2023 draft. I got drunk on the stream.
Oh, in the listener league. Yes, of
That's
course.
what I'm saying.
Okay, well, I've been to the finals 3 times and won twice, and you've only won 1 time. So
I mean, I've won
scoreboard.
1 time. I made the semifinals all but 1 year in that league too. Like,
I don't know,
top
dude,
3 team all
guys,
but 1 year in that league.
If you can't wait 2 hours to not fucking have a drink,
Thomas,
you got an issue.
Thomas, that's why I say it's the eye of the beholder. Realistically, you're going to know your own limits. If you know that you cannot function in that type of environment, like, buddy, like I'm used to fucking ripping beer pong games slashed out of my mind, locking in, talking to girls and stuff. Like, you know, like being drunk and shit doesn't impair like my process.
Again, it impairs your process during the fantasy draft. Please don't do it.
Buddy, that's why I have my rankings beside me. Okay, I will say, if you do not have your rankings beside you and you're just raw dogging it, okay, that's one thing. But if all I have to do is sort highest ranked player, I need running back and receiver, click here, a little different story.
Okay, we got to focus. I'm losing gas here.
And also, sorry, I had to take the bandana off to take a shit. Had me rolling.
That is funny. Okay, LawStash here. This is a non 2.0. This is a regular live DD.
Yep.
LawStash has listed his team. Josh, is this redraft? It's dynasty. 2 quarterbacks. So Malik Willis and Michael Penix and Anthony Richardson, obviously not great quarterback depth, but it helps that you have Josh Allen, Kenneth Walker, Jadarian Price, Kyron Williams, and so on at running back. This team's just lacking difference makers across the board. Honestly, like Nico and Walker are great. Like, I think they're awesome players for redraft, but in a dynasty league, you're going to want those guys as like your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th best options. Probably you're going to want a Lamb, a Bijan, a Gibbs, an Achane, somebody like that ahead of them on the depth chart. If you had Chase and Bijan on this team, it would be a juggernaut. Like, it would be one of the best teams in the league.
I think you're in a little bit of no man's land here, to be honest.
And it sucks because he doesn't have his 1 or
that's why I'm
his
saying
2
that.
next year, or his 1 in 2028.
And this is a 1 quarterback or a super flex?
It's a super flex, and he only has Malik Willis and Michael Penix. So because you're already in this year, like you already have your 1 and 2 gone, you kind of need to see what happens. Like if Malik Willis smashes and Walker smashes and Price smashes and that kind of thing, then of course you could win the championship.
What's he rank in contention?
He's purgatory, so I'd imagine like 7th or 8th. It says he's number 5 when you sort by contending.
I'll be honest, I don't know why you pushed your 27 and 28 first in here.
Yeah, I mean, he basically said, I don't want to be a crybaby like that other flock guy. I said, Mason, but I need some advice. There's a Thanos in my league. Oof, dude. You've given advice to a couple other guys in my league.
I think I remember doing
one of them, so I need some insight.
I think Sir Picks a lot. We did a DD 2.0.
Yeah, I think we did.
We definitely did that team.
This guy's.
Oh my god! Look at the picks.
Oh god, dude. I think. I think now that I've seen the Thanos, you gotta probably maybe try and go get your picks back. I want my picks back, all of them.
Dude.
Does he have them?
Dude, that might not even be a Thanos. That might be a Doctor Doom. Like that might be even the next level. Like what are we talking about?
He has your 28 one. He doesn't have. He does have your 27 one as well. I mean, this guy. So here's the fortunate thing for you. Sir Pixelot is in a position where he could win the championship. So what you should do is convince him that you're giving him elite players like Kenneth Walker and Nico Collins. for your
and then he's
back.
going to say, give me Josh Allen.
Well, you shouldn't do that. But what you should do is try and convince him, hey, dude, if I give you Kenneth Walker and I give you Nico Collins, you're going to win the championship, no questions asked.
Who's this quarterback too? I'm curious, actually. One quick.
Mahomes and Daniel Jones. He's fine.
I mean, well, let me ask you this: if that guy, if you could get Mahomes and each of your first the next 2 years back for Josh Allen, are you doing it?
There's no fucking way he does that, dude. He would much rather give you the first back straight for Walker and Collins, I would imagine.
Maybe, but looking at this guy's position, you don't think having Josh Allen and Drake May would be appealing to him?
I mean, probably, yeah.
Maybe you have to throw in like DK
whatever you got to
Metcalf
do to get your picks back is probably what I would be looking to do, because if he says, hey, I'll give you your picks back if you give me Kenneth Walker, Nico Collins, Devontae Adams, and J.K. Dobbins and Malik Willis, like just a bunch of competitive assets, just take them all, and I'll give you your picks back, I'd probably do it, to be honest with you, because he has a Thanos. You ain't competing with him anytime soon.
I mean, I would definitely do it. I don't think there's a conversation there. I guess my counter is, if I was that other guy, I'd be like, the only guy I'm even interested in on your team is Josh Allen. Like, I think
and
that's
if
why
Sir Pix-a-Lot, I can't remember off the top of my head, but if Sir Pix-a-Lot is the one who we did the review for the first time, he's probably well aware that that's what we would have told him to do the first time as well. And
let me see here.
And to be honest with you, I wouldn't even be hard pressed to do that, because Drake May, Patrick Mahomes, and Daniel Jones is more than competitive enough quarterbacks to the point that I'd actually rather just hold the picks over that guy's head until he really, really overpays. And he's like, fine, I'll give you Kenneth Walker, Kyron Williams, Nico Collins, and Zay Flowers for the picks or something like that.
Yes, sir. I'm looking. Maybe it wasn't him that we did then. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm looking through the teams that were submitted to see if I can recognize the Sir Pix-a-Lot name.
If we had more time, I would look through that, but I am running out of gas.
Yeah,
so
we are running out. Let's just rock and rip next.
Yeah. So again, I would say that Darth Raiders, LawStash, your only course of action for me is trying to get your picks back. Honestly,
is this a 2.0 or 1.0?
It's a live DD. It's just a regular 1.0. Yeah, just try and go get your picks back, dude. Do whatever it takes to get them back, even if it means like in the trade calculator, it says that you slightly lose the deal. If you're getting your picks back and you're able to rebuild for the long term, this guy ain't fucking losing, dude, anytime soon. And these strong contenders are also really like, this guy's team is really good too. Like, your team is just frankly destined for 5th place or 8th place or 7th place. And you're going to get exactly where you are by rebuilding, except you're going to need to do it a year or two down the road when some of your players have aged out of the league or aged out of their production. So you might as well sell them while they're still productive. Guys like Kenneth Walker, Kyron Williams, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, they might not always be productive guys. They might be a year from now, 2 years from now, guys that you can't get a bag of chips for when you try and sell them. So I would sell them ASAP and try and collect as many picks as that guy did. Focus on 2028. If you can trade for 2029, go after those as well. That's pretty much your only course of action, because not only is this guy's team going to demolish you, even the other strong contenders and the all-in team are probably going to demolish you as well. So let's keep it rolling here to AJ Franz. Romo, take the wheel. God, that's a cringe name.
Let's go, baby.
Just curious where you think my team stand. I just realized it's because I got a DUI. Just curious where you think my team stands, strengths, concerns, any potential players and positions I should look to trade away for others. So first of all, team's in good shape. You got, in a start 9, your starting lineup is Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy, Achane, Hall, Judkins, Barkley, Chase, Pickens, J-Mo, and then Kittle when he's healthy. So, I mean, this is a team that can absolutely win the championship.
Yeah, I'm curious in terms of contention. I'm assuming you're going to be the number 2 behind that juggernaut if we're just looking at the team comp real quick.
He's number 3 behind this all-in team. This all-in team has Bijan, McCaffrey, Cook. So,
I mean, the general rule here is I think you're pretty solid across the board in terms of where your contention is and on your team. You have anchors at every position.
It's young enough, too, that you should be competitive for next year and the year after that, probably, too, because it's like, Achane, Hall, like those are like aging assets as running backs. They're still probably going to be good 2 years from now.
Yeah, I guess the only thing is this is a start 10, I'm assuming?
Start 9.
The thing I would maybe look at is, can you move like a 2 and a 3 and get like a Devontae Adams type for your receiver core? Because outside of those top 3, you have nothing.
I mean, yeah, you could go in that direction with Dell and Io Manor as your depth. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty shaky. You could, like you said, kind of sell a 2 and a 3 for a Devontae Adams type, or maybe go after a cheap Chris Godwin or somebody like Cortland Sutton even too, just to give yourself a little bit more depth at receiver. I might wait until that becomes an actual issue because if it's a 2 wide receiver start 10 where it's like you only have to start 2 receivers, then, you know, guys like Barkley and Bill and stuff are going to mix into your flexes most of the time.
Yeah, so I would say in terms of 3 decisions here, I think number 1, prioritize your studs no matter what you get offered realistically, because you're a top 3 team in contention in this league. There's only one clear juggernaut that's ahead of you in the pecking order. The guy that's second right now, you're currently basically bar for bar with. I would say Caleb Williams, Devon Achane, Jamar Chase, even probably Purdy and Pickens, I would say, are probably untouchables on our team here. We're probably going to want to keep them because I think their production and youth are going to be.
You could tear down from Mayfield if you wanted to. Because you have Aller as well, who I think could potentially be a long-term QB3 for you. You could tear down from Mayfield into like Aaron Rodgers plus a competitive receiver.
Like, would you do Mayfield and Judkins to see if you can get an up tier at running back or wide receiver in terms of production?
You could. I mean, I love Judkins, so I probably wouldn't sell him, but I would be fine. Like
what if you could take Mayfield plus Judkins and get like James Cook?
I mean, yeah, I would do it if you could do that.
Okay.
Like this guy's name is Playoff Team, and he definitely doesn't have a playoff team. Like, could you offer this guy Mayfield for Bryce Young and he won't do that probably, but like maybe you could add stuff to get that done or whatever the case is. He'd have the Mayfield Igbuka stack. You are able to get Olave and Bryce Young in return. If you gave him Mayfield plus a 2 and another piece, maybe he would do it.
What about Baker and Judkins for Olave and a piece?
Baker and Judkins for Olave and a piece? Yeah, I mean, that would probably work.
A good piece, but yeah.
Like, yeah, Olave and Scattaboo? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, definitely play
he might not do that because why would he trade for Judkins and Scattaboo, like basically go in the same range in redraft, so he's probably not too concerned about that. But
just kind of spitballing some stuff. What about that James Cook team? I'm curious, can you go back down to it? We kind of scroll past it real quick. I mean, this guy's got all running backs, but he doesn't have a receiver, so maybe you could leverage that. He's weak
His
at quarterback
suck.
too.
You could sell this guy probably Mayfield for Darnold and Pittman straight. I'd be fine doing that, to be honest, because I love Pittman for redraft. I think he's a really good option. Maybe you could even get Darnold, Pittman, and Shakir just to give yourself another depth receiver.
Yeah, can we also see what the strongest receiver cores in the league look like, just so we can maybe see where we can leverage? So this guy's got a stud receiver core.
DJ Moore, you could maybe acquire DJ Moore from this guy. He probably doesn't really need him.
I'm gonna be honest, yeah, that guy might be a little tougher because his team is loaded. What about like the other top receiver?
This guy's number 3.
He's weaker at quarterback too, but I think he might view himself as fine there.
This guy's number 1.
Yes.
So this guy is. Yeah, T. Higgins and Garrett Wilson are maybe acquirable from a guy like this for sure. If you offered him Baker Mayfield plus something for Garrett Wilson or T. Higgins.
Dude, would you not offer Baker and Judkins for Garrett and T here?
If you could get it done, yeah, I'd be fine with it.
I think a move like that
why
would
are you
make
so keen on selling Judkins? That's my guy.
Just because he has 5 running backs. That's kind of
I know, but I would sell Barkley before I sell Judkins.
I just think given the context that he's a top 3 contender, maybe you keep the Barkley points. And I'm assuming.
I mean, yeah, but he also is going to be a top 3 contender for the next 3 to 4 years. So I'd rather have the 22-year-old.
So I agree. I just think that Judkins going to be able to net you a higher value. And if you can disperse Judkins' value into wide receiver points, I think that would be a good pivot.
That would be true in May, but getting closer to the season, I would bet that Barkley and Judkins have a lot closer of a market value in most dynasty leagues than you think.
Definitely try to leverage it. Obviously, if that's the case, then sell Barkley because of the age. I'm just going off the fact that there's probably about a 2-round discrepancy in terms of where they go in startups. So I was basing it off of that. But yeah, regardless, though, I would say Baker plus one of your running backs. If you can go back down to that team with the stacked wide receiver core that kind of needs a quarterback, the one that had Tyler Shuck quarterback one. Yeah, him. If you can, like, again, Wilson plus Higgins would be a done deal. You can convince the guy on the fact that, like, hey, you're kind of young across the board. You have Tyson, you have Boston, you have Tate. Obviously, you have JSN. Like, you're good at wide receiver. Give me Higgins and Wilson because you're totally fine from a depth perspective, and you need a running back and you need a quarterback. Like,
yeah. Also, Dylan and Tom are talking about this in the chat. What are your thoughts on this? James Cook for Bucky and Garrett Wilson in Dynasty.
seems like a relatively even deal.
I think I would, assuming it's like a start 9 or a start 10, a deep enough format, I think I would take Bucky and Garrett Wilson there. If you can get a 27-second on top of it, go ahead. But I love James Cook as much as the next guy, but those are two really solid, like 15-point per game type producers, in my opinion.
Yeah, like you would make that deal for James Cook if you're a juggernaut. You would make that deal for the other two parts if you were.
And in a start 9 or a start 10, I think I prefer the Bucky and Garrett Wilson side. But if it was like a start 7 or a start 8, obviously I'm going to take James Cook there. But anyways, we could probably move on from AJ Fran's team there. That was that a 2.0? I just want to double check. That was a 2.0 actually. Let me really quick go back to his team. Decisions to be made, like we mentioned, Baker Mayfield, potential pivot, wide receiver depth, whether you go after Adams or Pittman or Godwin or Sutton or Michael Wilson or just some guys that can give you some production at receiver. I wouldn't be opposed to upgrading at tight end as well, seeing if you could pivot off of a Rondé Gadsden if he gets out to a start where he has a couple of good games at the beginning of the season. You could maybe get a better long-term option. Maybe you could pivot Gadsden into Kincaid straight up right now. I would rather have Kincaid.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's maybe some of the decisions we would go through.
So real quick, and if we outlined a clear, concise 3.
I just did.
Okay. Oh, you numbered them?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have any more that you want to add, go nuts. I just said 3. If you want to add any more, I said upgrade receiver depth, maybe pivot at tight end, downgrade from Baker Mayfield.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. We'll figure it out in terms of the 3 decisions there for you. We'll go to Gunna Boy here. And how many total teams do we have /2.0s as well here?
So Gunna Boy is just a live DD. FeelSsbad is the next team after that. He is a 2.0, and then Slush Monkey is a regular live DD. So there's only 1 2.0 and then 3 reviews total remaining here. And let's go to love for the Swifties. Where are we?
Looking like we might be out by 3-hour 15-minute mark.
Yeah, might be. So no love for the Swifties here. This is a redraft question. So start 7. 12 team, 1 quarterback, no tight end premium. There's 3 keepers in the league as well. Didn't have a second round pick. Went for the win last year. Drafted 105 slot. Drafted first running back in round 4. And then I split my 2 5th round picks on wide receiver and running back. He said he stacked at wide receiver. Should I sit tight or trade for a quarterback or running back? Nobody wants to give up running backs. Thank you for the review. So he's in a tough spot. It sounds like he may have traded a second round pick to try and win the championship last year, which if you guys are in keeper leagues, I would probably recommend not doing that. Like trading future years away like that.
But he won, so it makes sense. Also, first and foremost, if this is a keeper league, I mean, I guess like you can, so is Amon-Ra and who else was his keeper then? Or maybe it's 1 keeper?
It said there was 3 keepers. Maybe he kept like T-Mac at a good value or Burden at a good value or something like that. Like maybe he had Burden for like a 13th round ADP or something.
Because I was going to say, if it's based off value, you absolutely keep Jordan Tyson over Caleb Douglas just for the upside that he could be a keeper.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, drop Caleb Douglas ASAP and go. I mean, Xavier Worthy should be rostered as well, to be honest. And I would rather have Xavier Worthy than Keaton Mitchell, for example. Yeah. So I would just go pick up Xavier Worthy and Jordan Tyson at this point.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think you have the right tight end in terms of a cheap tight end that could maybe fill in early.
Yeah, Jawan's a really good early season option for you, especially if if somebody gets like if Hawkinson's having a breakout season or something, you could always go pick him up later. But I think Johnson's a good I need a guy week 1 starter.
I mean, I will say for what it's worth, knowing that he didn't have his second round pick, the fact that you aren't the clear number 12 in the rankings is speaking volumes to its own right. Because like a lot of teams not having their own second round pick definitely don't pop up 10th on the analyzer.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. So you've come out pretty good with this team so far. As far as like moves, I would recommend, like you said, it's going to be very challenging to get running backs when you have none to give back. Like I've definitely experienced that before. When you're getting a running back from somebody, usually people go, well, I don't want to give up a running back unless I'm getting one in return. You and I have both experienced that in the Flock League. Again, a guy like let's see if we can find somebody that has like 3 really good running backs. Like this guy here, maybe you could convince him because he has both the Patriots running backs, Judkins and Hall, that maybe he'd be willing to sell Judkins for like Luther Burden plus or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to do that. Or
Tetherall and McMillan straight for Judkins or something.
That would be more reasonable for me.
But like, there's probably not a ton of teams in your league that have 4 running backs to burn. You know what I mean? Like this guy has McCaffrey, Love, and Tootin. Maybe he'd be willing to sell Tootin, but because Love is injured, he probably won't.
I'll be honest too. Yeah, you are weaker at running back, but I think you can at least suffice in the early season because when I'm looking at specifically from a utility perspective, DeAndre Swift, Jordan Mason, Kenny Gainwell can work in right now. You have the implied upside with Jonah Coleman, that play. There's a report that came out today that they want to give him some significant work this year. I'm not sure if you saw that, Corey.
Yeah, I did see that.
Which kind of points me to the fact that he's probably the clear backup to Dobbins, but also because Harvey obviously is going to get the pass work in terms of when Dobbins and Harvey are on the field. My take on Coleman has always kind of been where in lieu of a Dobbins injury, I think he's good enough in pass pro to be able to at least make that a 50-50 in terms of pass down snaps. Obviously, you're harder or higher on Harvey than I am, so you probably disagree with that. But that was part of the reason why we were willing to reach on Jonah Coleman, because we do believe in the instance of J.K. Dobbins going down, Coleman would actually be the biggest benefactor here.
Yeah, ironically, I'm actually just the lowest on J.K. Dobbins, which is never a sentence that's come out of my mouth in the 7 years that we've had this channel. I actually just think that it will be Harvey or Coleman that ends up being the best pick in this backfield.
Because Dobbins goes down, right?
Because Dobbins goes down, or Dobbins like loses his job to Coleman, or Harvey takes a step forward. I think Dobbins is what he is at this point in his career, and he's not getting any younger.
Also, yeah, enjoy that IPA, brother.
Dude, I'm cracking something as soon as we're done here.
Oh,
I texted my buddies because I just went and golfed and shit, and I'm fucking hungry as hell. I might once we hop out of here, I might go get a drink or something.
Yo, let's go, Christian. And Thomas, you want the easy answer to that is that if it's by our rankings, we have convictions in our rankings that the others just simply aren't on board
Mason
with.
drafts on ADP.
He does. Like, he will download underdog ADP and be like, oh, I might adjust somebody +5 or -5 to where their listed ADP is on underdog. And when I'm drafting on underdog, that's one thing, because obviously I want to draft with CLV in mind, closing value in mind, because I'm drafting so many teams. If I'm in 1 or 2 or 3 fucking redraft leagues, I mean, the Flock League's the biggest example of it. I don't care where fucking Colson Loveland's ADP is when I'm in one draft. I care about it when I'm in 150 and I have to disperse a bunch of teams.
Yeah, one of the drafts is for $100,000. Yeah, I think I don't agree with your opinions on who you took, but if you're, I agree with how you drafted as far as like getting the guys that you wanted to go after. The only thing I disagree with is that you guys should not have picked the 12 slot, because if you want to draft guys that are different from ADP stance, you're going to have to reach a ton more at 12 than you would have at 7.
Which is totally reasonable. I just think Thomas says in terms of the mock drafts, guys that we have highest in our combined rankings are going to be at times a lot different than where the others on the site. And like, again, Mason's going to be at exactly where ADP is because that's kind of his shtick.
Because he's a slappy. Sorry, he's not a slappy. He's a boomer. We're slappies.
Us, Domain, and Land kind of have like very differing opinions, I would say, in terms of our overall rankings. The only one that and it's funny because obviously we drafted together, but the only one that actually has like nearly identical rankings to me is Sammy. And like, that's kind of how we end up in our guys team. You know what I mean? Because like our rankings on the site, if you go to mine and Sammy's versus everyone else's, like it's almost like completely different.
Yeah, I think that's because you spend too much time talking to each other, to be honest.
Maybe.
But anyways, let's keep it rolling here. Gunna Boy, again, try and make a move for a running back. There was a couple of teams out there like this guy here, my team, shoot, whatever his name is. I'm sure you've probably reached out to this guy already looking at his running backs, but Bucky Irving would fit your team. Javonte Williams would fit your team. He has Jacobs. He has White. He has Lloyd. Like, this guy is in the best position to give you a running back. If you could sell him Tedero and McMillan for Bucky Irving right now, I would do it personally. I would be totally fine doing that because I do think that Bucky Irving would help your team more than Tedero and McMillan would help your team because you have the receiver depth to make up for it.
Yeah, truthfully, again, I understand this is a cop-out, but I'm totally fine rocking into the season. If I have to start Jordan Mason against the Packers in week 1, I'm totally fine doing that, knowing that I have a Monra, Tedero, Burden. Like, obviously, again, if you can make a move and it's for a similarly tiered running back, do your due diligence, because in an ideal world, you don't have to go into the season with that. All I'm saying is if you don't find the right deal, or if everybody's trying to say, hey, my running back is inherently worth 15 to 20% more than your comparable receiver just because he's a running back, that's the kind of market you're dealing with. Like, I'm not just like setting a 130% value deal just to get one done.
Yeah, agreed. That's why I said, T-Mac, if you threw T-Mac plus Jaden Reed to this guy, does that get you in range of Javonte Williams? Like, I would pay a 10% premium to get Bucky Irving, but I would pay multiple guys to get Javonte Williams if I can. let's keep it rolling here to FeelSsbad here. Oh, shit, I didn't realize what's going on. Oh, my problem is, okay.
What happened?
Let's keep going.
Oh, you're good?
Yes.
Dope.
Where are we at? We have 2 more reviews left to go. I'm fucking absolutely wiped. Dude, I played 18 holes right before we rip this.
Yeah, and then I'm going to have to work on my sleepers video after we're done here too.
Yeah. I'll be working on my video tomorrow morning, I think.
Sure.
So, Mesa County rough stock here. Number 2 contender. He said it's a dynasty 1 quarterback league, so having Jaden Daniels and Burrow is not as valuable as having it in a super flex, but you got 2 good quarterbacks. I've been offered Higgins a 28 first and 3rd for Carnell Tate in a 2nd. So, I mean, T. Higgins plus a 28 first and 3rd. He's a strong contender.
No.
This team says strong contender, but I feel like this team, like we did about the Thanos earlier, where I'm like, I don't think this team is like a goated contender by any means, like production wise.
And I'll be honest, I understand like right now it's tempting because you see where T. Higgins goes in ADP, you see where Carnell Tate goes in ADP. That is the type of deal that you are going to feel sick to your stomach about if we're midway through the year and Carnell Tate's the wide receiver 18 and his dynasty value is that of the wide receiver 7 on the market.
So frankly, I disagree with you simply because he's getting a 1 and 3 of insulation in the deal.
A late 28 first, I'm assuming, and a 28-year-old receiver.
The person trading for Tate, you think he has a late first? In 28?
I mean, if he's moving a first, why would he be?
Well, okay, let's see who the guy who's T. Higgins right now.
Take a look.
This guy, I mean, he's moving it for Tate. Why would he be? I mean, he's selling. I don't think this guy's team is anything special, dude. I
don't think it's anything special, but again,
also,
I'm not
first of all, it's a 16-team league also.
Yeah, definitely not doing that.
Okay, yeah, maybe not in a 16-team league. I wouldn't do that. But
even
now that I look at this team and it says strong contender, I understand why now because it's a 16-team league. So yeah, for a 16-team league, this is a pretty good team.
Even at 12, man, I'm still keeping Tate for that, to be honest.
Yeah, and he already has banked up an extra first of liquidity. He has 3 seconds of liquidity here.
So you know what you do then? You have elite quarterback situation. You have a great tight end situation. Maybe you could use
a 1 quarterback league for what it's worth.
Okay, so I mean that's even like it's obviously not as good, but like then you have maybe a market for one of those quarterbacks, like who has Jamar Chase or who has Terry McLaurin or who has like one of those stackable quarterbacks who needs a quarterback. Like what does Nomad have at quarterback? Kyler Murray and Kaka Peep?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can we work something there?
You could try. I mean, there's probably going to be plenty of guys in this league like this guy here that could just use a quarterback. I mean, his team just sucks donkey.
Oh my God, he might be the worst ever.
But yeah, like if you could sell Jaden Daniels, this guy has like this guy's team. Maybe? This guy is Jamar, dude. This dude,
you got to sell them Burrow.
Yeah, if you could sell this guy Burrow for
and McLaurin.
Yeah, okay. I would sell him Daniels then because I prefer Burrow. If you could sell this guy Daniels for, yeah.
Oh shit, you just made that switch then.
I've had Burrow above Daniels for a while.
Didn't you have Burrow, or I thought you had Daniels in the first round of your startup rankings.
Maybe I'm talking on my ass right now.
You must have just recently did that.
In Dynasty Superflex. I have Daniels ahead. You're right. I have Daniels ahead. I'm getting worried about Daniels. They're in the same tier for me.
Yeah, I think
either way, I would sell one of those quarterbacks to this guy if you can. The challenging thing is that he doesn't really have a lot of production pieces to give you.
Yeah.
Like, what is he going to give you for Jaden Daniels, realistically? Like,
in a 1 quarterback league,
there's nothing that stands out other than his picks. Would you take? I would take 2 firsts, even though there's 16
let me
team
ask
ones.
This. Right, yeah, 16 teams.
I would take his one in the next 2 years for Jaden Daniels if he offered it for me, or Joe Burrow if he offered it to me.
Maybe try to squeeze out like a Rico or a Swift.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you're even going to get that though, because like realistically, he's like I feel fine with Geno Smith or whatever, probably. So
maybe squeeze out a Likely or something just as a backup tight end because you have Jolie.
Yeah. If this guy offered me 27-1 and 28-1 for Jaden Daniels, I'd probably take that, to be honest.
Yeah. So overall, when we're looking at this, if we had to make 3 decisions here, I think go through it real quick. Number 1, where do we want to lane it? Basically, get a running back with a pulse.
Yeah, I would say trying to get a running back upgrade. Like, I feel okay about RJ Harvey as your RB2 if he works out, but if he doesn't work out, you're going to be in rough shape there. So trying to like capitalize on like one of these like pipsqueak or purgatory teams. If I can get in their ear, get in their DMs, and try and basically convince them that they can't compete and go after, you know, a package deal for Jadarian Price or, you know, Cam Scadaboo, or even grabbing a cheap Jordan Mason to get you by early on in the year.
Go back to that team that had Kaka Peep at quarterback. Okay, purgatory here. We might be able to cook if you can leverage one of the quarterbacks here
into Jeremiah Love. Yeah,
Jeremiah Love, or even, dude, in a one quarterback league, I think I'd be willing to take like JMO and Godwin for one of them.
Yeah,
but like
I mean,
I would rather
would
a running
want
back
more than that.
I'd rather a running back, but
yeah, if you could somehow transition Burrow or Daniels into Jeremiah Love, even if you had to pay a bit on top of it, like they're not going super high in startup value. So if you could take Jaden Daniels plus Christian Watson or something and get Jeremiah Love out of that, I would be willing to do that. Obviously, I don't think he's going to take that, but that's something that we're kind of spitballing. But yeah, the decision point here is try and sell a quarterback if you can. Try and get a running back 2 upgrade or a running back 1 upgrade if you can. And I'm okay transitioning Carnell Tate into a competitive receiver, but I would want more than T. Higgins, a 16 team 28 first. I would probably want somebody in Carnell Tate's tier just straight up. Like if you could sell Carnell Tate straight for George Pickens, I would rather do that.
Also, it's funny you said this because somebody else called me Ruxin from the league.
That's funny.
Like just what's the common denominator between them two? Are they just like the guys that get easily raged the most or something?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's comedy. Yeah, so somebody literally like the other morning messaged me like, "Have you ever watched a league? You remind me of Ruxin the way you react to shit." And I'm like, "Oh, I've never heard that before." But now I'm getting Rafi too.
Guess so. All right, but yeah, we'll cover the rest in the DD 2.0. You got definitely some moves that you can make, but it's going to take some, sniffing around your league. T-Bird submitted a trade question. We can quickly get to that. It doesn't actually have any contents to it. So T-Bird, if you submit it again in the next few minutes, we should be able to get to it for you today. But something happened when you were filling it out. Okay, Slush Monkey should be the last review that we have to do here. He's got NWA as his name here, and redraft. He is well ahead. It is a redraft league. So a 10-team redraft league.
Look at the undrafted players, dude.
Oh my God, what is this?
Stribling, White, Addison. So much value.
Okay, so first and foremost, Romeo Dobbs, bye-bye.
See you later. Yeah,
Jordan Addison, I would much rather have than Romeo Dobbs.
Dude, give me Stribling all day, every day, dude. Just take upside at that point.
I mean, Stribling isn't even in this conversation. Rashad White and Jordan Addison are on the waiver wire. Like,
you don't think Stribling's in the conversation with Evans?
No.
Oh, I would consider him. I have Stribling higher than you do, then probably.
I would.
Where do you have
Genty's news lately, I would be comfortable dropping Mike Washington for Rashad White. Personally,
I wouldn't.
I that's fine. If you want to hold him, I think that Rashad White has more upside because he's, a pass catcher, and Mike Washington, even if he was the starter, the Raiders are probably going to suck ass without Genty. So,
I know this is the low-hanging fruit. Can you make a consolidation deal? But
yeah, again, I feel like this is
every team.
He said, I like the team, but I'm worried about Daniel's performance. Should I drop somebody to pick up Purdy as a backup? Dude, in a 10-team start 7, you should never roster a second quarterback. If you ever need to drop Jaden Daniels, if he doesn't perform, is droppable. Like in this format, you could actually drop him and it wouldn't be crazy.
Corey, I must have Stribling a lot higher than you. He's inside my top 100 right now.
I have him at 114, so I'm not quite there, but I still like him. I mean, top 114 is still a single-digit round pick.
The difference is I probably moved him over that quarterback range, which you might have him behind, right?
Maybe, yeah. And part of that is best ball stuff. Like I have those quarterbacks pushed up a little bit more for that. Yeah. But yeah, I would say for me, like I'm just going to drop Dubs really easily, pick up Jordan Addison. I would like to roster Rashad White over Mike Washington myself, but I understand if you want to hold him for the upside. This team, like you said, any 2-for-1 deal, you got to remember that, let's say, hypothetically, you trade Tetaroa McMillan and Devontae Adams. You give 2 receivers and you get, let's find somebody with a weak receiver core. You get Devontae Smith. Tetaroa McMillan and Devontae Adams for Devontae Smith doesn't sound like a great deal, but then you remember you're getting Jordan Addison off of the waiver wire for free, and it makes the deal seem a lot better. And again, you could even shoot probably higher than that, to be honest. You could probably take Tetaroa McMillan and Adams and get Malik Neighbors for that.
Think of it like this. even if it's a deal you feel like you're 120 or 130% overpaying on, considering what's available on the wire.
Bench spots are gold in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. Even like if we're looking at, can you take I would even take like Tet and Evans and see if you can get like another running back even or another stud receiver. Like,
Yeah,
so many
can
options.
Amari and Hampton plus Mike Evans get you James Cook?
Yeah, if you can do that, then I would. You might even be able to get. I was gonna say McCaffrey. You have McCaffrey, but yeah, James Cook would probably be the
James
answer
Cook
there.
would make sense. Like Adams plus Jalen Warren. Does Adams plus Jalen Warren get you into Garrett Wilson territory? Does it get you into Zay Flowers territory? Does it get you into T. Higgins or George Pickens territory? Like any marginal upgrades you can make to your starting lineup in the long run are going to make your team way, way better because you're just going to backfill your bench with great players that are on the waiver wire. And it's a 10-team start 7 too. And Trey McBride and Jaden Daniels are respectively positional advantages. Maybe not positional advantage for Jaden Daniels because he's my QB 8, but Trey McBride is a positional advantage in a 10-team league there. So yeah, I would say you're in really, really good shape, Slush Monkey. I don't really have anything else to add. Just try and make 2-for-1 tier ups where you can, 3-for-2s, 3-for-1s, whatever you got to do to open up bench spots, stash more upside, and continue to upgrade your starting lineup. By week 5, you should have 7 players in your start 7 that are top 25 to 35 assets if your league mates have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. But overall, I mean, very clearly a good team. You're ranked number 1 on the analyzer. And if you can make a consolidation move like that, get your team even set up better, pick up one of those free pieces that are available on the waiver wire, definitely going to be in your best interest.
Absolutely. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, whoever submitted that trade question, if you submit it in the next like 5 seconds, we'll answer it. But otherwise, we'll just get to it another time. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. If you guys want access to the draft guide, of course, you can get it by getting the season pass, which is $34 for the entire year. If you guys want access to all the rankings for free, the redraft guide for free, the dynasty rookie draft guide, the start set rankings, the projections. Of course, we did underdog drafts at the beginning of the stream. 3 hours deep into this one. I'm absolutely exhausted. I need to eat some food. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Peace out. We'll talk to you soon.